is up? How is everybody doing? Forza Milan late night stream. Daniel and me. Forza Milan. Forza Milan to you. It is Thursday now, and we are one day always closer to the day that might be the worst day of the year or the best. I think the best. Forza Milan, Alan. How are you doing, sir? How's everybody doing? Guys, in the picture, by the way, in case you don't know, that is Herbert Kipling. He is one of the founding fathers of AC Milan. He was there in 1899. When all of this started, he was right there. The man, the myth, the legend. Origi is 99% done, so you can't talk about bad about him anymore. No, it's not that I don't talk bad about Origi. I'm asking myself, why is it that he doesn't play? And in my opinion, it's got to do with physique, because he's obviously a good footballer. But it's not a problem. Like I've said that Milan need to build on offensive depth. We can't just rely on Giroud. We need Giroud, Origi, and we need someone else. It can be, for me, it could have been Belotti or instead of Origi, but since Origi is coming, I don't think Belotti is coming, because Belotti would have pretty much had the same role. I really believe that they can make something happen, because I don't think that Ibrahimovic is staying. Also because he has decided to not participate to the Nations League, so he's decided not to participate with the Swedish team. But therefore, I'm speculating that he won't be here next year, and we need to give that spot, that top player spot, that tip of the pyramid spot, to someone. Who will that someone be? It's going to be very interesting market. I definitely don't think so. If it depends. It depends on how we substitute Ibrahimovic. That's what it depends on. If we substitute Ibrahimovic with a center forward, we're most likely getting a top player. And that top player will be the number one. Origi will be the number two, and Dybala and Giroud the number three. I say that's probably but let's say they're going to use their funds elsewhere. The top players maybe can be the attacking midfielder, or maybe that top player can be the right winger. So if the top player that Milan gets is the right winger, and they keep Giroud and Origi, the only two strikers, and maybe have a youngster as the third one, then in that case, yes, Origi will probably be the number one. I mean, him and Giroud are going to... But listen, guys, all of you that are expecting Origi to come to Milan and score 20 goals and all this stuff, you guys have to chill out. You guys have to relax, because, first of all, you're setting up yourself for emotional failure, and you're setting up a very tumultuous season for him. Ibra will be number three. So you think it's going to be Origi, Giroud, Ibrahimovic? I don't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. I would, if Ibrahimovic wants to keep on playing, and if Ibrahimovic is okay with doing what he does now, which is play. It's a good question, because next season we have to win. We have to go far in the Champions League. We can't stop at the group stages, and I'm wondering if it would be more if it'd be better having a player that can contribute on the field, because Ibra can only do so much. He can only do so much. It's a good question to ask. It's a good question to ask. David might be a good signing. Also, his form Lille is highly likely. Okay, so guys, we checked David, Jonathan David, and to be frank, Scamacca has better numbers than Jonathan David. Scamacca has been scoring more goals, and Scamacca is a very good option. When it comes to young strikers, for me, it has to be Scamacca. It has to be. But the top choice for the club is Darwin Núñez. I'm positive about that. I think they want to try and get Darwin Núñez. I think they're going to try and do that. Because they can potentially. Because honestly, they're getting Origi and they're getting Sanchez and Botman for fairly. We will have to expect not to play a lot, but more a bench coach and come in when they have injuries or tired. Yeah, I don't know if that is the right thing to do. I don't know if that would be the correct thing to do. I think that it would be better to honestly, it's something that you just don't know, because we have to see if he's going to retire. If he doesn't want to retire, all right, so let's say he says, no, I'm not going to retire. I think there's part of me that says that's going to be a handicap on the team. We need 3 players that are ready to play, 3 players that are very, very reliable physically in that role, in that position. 3 players that that push each other, 3 players that are all 3 of them competing for that spot. And I think that would create a much more devastating offensive line. Ibrahimovic has his values as in the locker room 100%. In the just being there, his presence. And the way he talks even to Maldini, the way he talks to everybody. Like, Ibrahimovic is a guy that he knows what it means to win. Ibrahimovic is very intelligent when it comes to football. So he knows what he says, and he brings a lot of comfort and a lot of confidence to the team. So I understand that aspect of Ibrahimovic is still very important. And footballing wise also, if you can get him to play 15 games a season, next season, maybe it is possible that that's what we're going to do. Giroud, Origi, Ibrahimovic, if that's what you're planning. If you're planning to have him play 15 games a season and have Giroud and Origi play most of the season, maybe. It's not out of question. You need leaders in Champions League, yeah, true. No team wins without leaders. Yeah, okay, but Ibrahimovic is a leader. We know this, but it's Acmilan is a leader too. Calabria, by the way, I saw his the first half against Atalanta. It is true. He actually had a horrible game. A lot of people were telling me that he had this terrible game, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I saw the second half, and in the second half, defensively, he was a monster defensively. Nothing was going through him, and all his decision making was perfect. But the first half, I didn't see it, and I saw it earlier, and wow, it was shambles. It was terrible. Scamacca will cost like 15 million, but David might be cheaper as it's easier to make deals with Lille. Yeah, that is very true. That is definitely true. Zlatan should not renew with a 7 million a year contract, that's for sure. He should retire and join our management or become an assistant manager. I think that would be good. We gotta see what he wants to do, because as far as we know, when it comes to what has come out through, let's say, that part of the world is that he is going to be joining Raiola's agency. I don't know if this is true or not. I haven't heard anybody talk about him joining the management. I've heard people suggest that, but I've not heard like statements about that. Yeah, but let's be real. Ibra talking to a young player is different than the rest. Ibra talking to a young player is different than the rest. Okay, guys. Eventually, you gotta let him go, right? Eventually, you gotta let him go. So we had to. Even Maldini could have stayed a season more. Even Baresi could have stayed a season more. Even Baggio could have played one more season. Totti could have even played one more season. But sooner or later, you gotta, you know, you gotta accept that these players don't last forever. You cannot really blame Calabria on Atalanta's game. He was played out of his position in right DM to give the extra man in the midfield. You can tell he is not comfortable playing the goal behind his back. Good observation, Kojo. I think that is a very good observation because that is true. He definitely he basically becomes the double pivot because you have Tonali and Krunic were in higher positions, sometimes even floating in the last line. So in that second double pivot, Calabria was playing that, but he's played in that role before and he's done very well. My impression with Calabria when I saw how he played was more so that his thinking and his feet were not in tune. He looked nervous. He looked like he didn't have confidence. He was scared. Every time the ball touched his foot, it was like a hot potato. That means that you're nervous. But Calabria is a guy that we've seen him. He's very calm, cool, relaxed, fast. He's very lucid. He's very intelligent, smart, quick. What I saw is him not being able to handle the pressure of a very important game. And but yeah, it is absolutely true. He moved in that right defensive midfield position. That is 100% correct. On the second half, he was reverted to his original position, hence he played well. On the second half, it's true. Very well said, Coach. In the second half, he mostly played to defend the right back position. That was his main role. While the build-up changed, especially because eventually, soon, with Messias and with Rebic, the quality of the game changes, and all of a sudden, the passes are more precise, the game becomes different, and he's not required to be an offensive player anymore. Most of the Milan fans don't blame Calabria. We have seen how good he can be. He is just not having a good form because of pressure. He'll be better after he starts winning trophies. Yeah, 100%. 100%, guys. Of course. Look, Ronaldo is a great player, right? Nobody says that Ronaldo is not a great player, but this season he finished. He's finishing in the Conference League position. He'll have a good season next season. Let's take his team forward. Where do you think Messias deserves a chance next season with us since he had 2 assists in the last 2 games and he looks as good? Or you think we should let him go? I think it's a very interesting decision that they have to make. Because if they want to bring a right winger, we know Castillo is leaving, but Milan has not really played with 3 right wingers. Milan has only played with 2 right wingers. And those 2 positions are Messias and Saelemaekers. So if they're going to bring another winger, that means that Messias or Saelemaekers has to take Castellero's spot and become the 3rd. Right? So does anybody see that happening? I don't think so. I think one of them is probably going to be sacrificed in order to make the team more efficient offensively, bring in goals and bring in important, let's call it important offensive play, like a Berardi, or like how many of you guys would like to have Mahrez, or like a Zaniolo, or like an Anthony, whatever. Another player that has a potential of becoming a top player, like Leao, let's put it that way, or a player that is already a top player. So if you go that route, that means either Saelemaekers or Messias is almost never going to see the pitch. So the question is, who would you want behind that player? Do you want another offensive player, or do you want another defensive player? Do you want Messias, or do you want Saelemaekers? And that is the question the coach and the footballing staff has to ask themselves. So at that point, me personally, if I am the coach, I would keep the defensive player because of age, but also because of flexibility when it comes to tactical solutions. If I already have a player like Messias, I can have two different kind of choices. Now, the question is Messias. Is Messias worth sacrificing? In my opinion, no. Because Messias, before being a great footballer, you can tell he's a great human being. And that is really what sets him apart. Messias is a professional, humble worker. The guy is no superstar syndrome. He's not wasting time on social media. This guy is as humble and professional as they come. And he does the work. He makes it easy for the locker room. It makes it easy for the coach, and it makes it easy for the locker room. Messias guarantees that you as the coach don't need to ever worry about him meaning that you as a coach, you have an easier job. So in that regard, Messias is very important. While Saelemaekers, from his behaviors, I think is a little bit the opposite. Good morning, Carlo. What's up? If Saelemaekers sold the summer of Messias, might be a good sign-in for sub. Can we cash in Sally and then that money pays half the cost of Berardi? Well, if you have Berardi and Messias, you have the same players pretty much. Just one of them is much more efficient when it comes to assists and goals, while the other one also would probably accept the bench, and he'd be humble, and he'd still make it easy for Pioli. But maybe, but there's also the upside to that, which means your team average age goes higher. It's a really tough question. It's a tough one, guys. It's a tough one. Honestly, put yourself in that position. You have to sacrifice a person that you've developed a good relationship with, a person that you love, a person that has fought for you. Both Saelemaekers and Messias have been fighting for this team like hell. How can you just say, yeah, okay, bye, thank you, I don't need you anymore, It's like, this is not how relationships with these people are. So it's a difficult one. It's going to be a difficult decision to make, but it will have to be done correctly. And if there is the opportunity to bring in a player that will bring the technical level of a team to a higher standing, then you got to do what you got to do. Carlo, looked like it on weekend. Sally was very good, very sad or angry coming off. Yeah, of course. Let's summarize his season. Saelemaekers has had a difficult season because for the first time in his career, he's had competition. While Saelemaekers last year won the competition. Saelemaekers won the competition against Castillo. Saelemaekers won that battle. the coach chose him instead of Castillo. This year, when it comes to Saelemaekers Messias, the coach sometimes has chosen Messias over Saelemaekers. And that burns as a player. And also don't think it's been easy for Rebic either, because Rebic lost his spot. The moment that Leao solidified himself as a top player, Rebic said bye to that left wing. That left wing belongs to Leao. Okay? He's put his flag there, and that is the nation of Leao. So nobody's going to be taking that left wing anytime soon. Of course, that hurt Rebic. It's not easy when you are the center of attention and then someone else comes and takes your spot. So, Saelemaekers is very young, so he still has to deal with all of these things. He has to learn how to manage all these different kind of emotions. And he will, because this is what he's surrounded by professionals. He's surrounded by people that know how to grow in this business. So, he's just we're just seeing the kid learn. Florenzi can play the Saelemaekers role, I do think. That is true. That is true, though. So you still have that option if you keep Florenzi. You still do have that option, and that is a good point. And maybe that does tip the things to, let's say, Messias, if you keep Florenzi. Because if you need to play a player that is more defensive-minded, with more defensive awareness, then you can put Florenzi there. But one thing that Saelemaekers has, that a lot of our players don't have, is incredible work rate. Like, the guy never stops. Saelemaekers can run for 90 minutes at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and he'll be all over the field. These are things that you don't want to just let go. So there's a lot to weigh, guys. There's a lot to weigh. There's a lot to weigh. But the Florenzi thing does kind of make sense. For some reason, I think that Saelemaekers can play cam better, and he can be good sub for us for more defensive output. He could play the cam, essentially, because of how Pioli likes to use his cams. Yes, Saelemaekers could do what Krunic does. By the way, Krunic had a great first half against Atalanta. Again, I didn't see the first half. I watched it earlier, and Krunic was freaking great. Wow. Rebic is really pissed. Doesn't matter what position you play, you should still be able to. Oh, well, he does. He does. Actually, I was watching Saelemaekers, and Saelemaekers' football was very good against Atalanta. So even his passing, the problem with Saelemaekers is this, and we can fight over this forever. Saelemaekers is a player that was adapted to that role. So when people look at Saelemaekers, they expect things that he's not used to doing. So he needs time to learn how to do those things, one. But his role in that right wing was an adapted role. The same way Carlo Ancelotti adapted Gattuso to when he played with a diamond, he adapted Gattuso as a mezzala, as a right defensive midfielder. He adapted Pirlo in that role that Pirlo then became famous for. That was Ancelotti that decided, well, talking with Pirlo, both of them, they decided together to put Pirlo there, because before Pirlo played as an attacking midfielder. Pirlo was the number 10 in the under-21s. When he won the Euro under-21s, he was an attacking midfielder. He didn't play in front of a defense. That is something that happened under Ancelotti. And also Ancelotti adapted Seedorf's role. And Ancelotti was able to envision Seedorf in pretty much any position. So Seedorf could play all four positions of a diamond in his initial, when he started his great cycle. He started with that 4 diamond 2. So Saelemaekers, in a certain way, is similar to that. He was adapted to this role as a defensive right wing that helps you press high and plays football like a midfielder, but not like an attacking midfielder. More like Messias will leave than Saelemaekers. Yeah, probably. Probably. I doubt Maldini will cash in on Saelemaekers. When he was presented with the gift for his 100th appearance, Maldini said, "Hopefully, this is the start of a long career with us." I mean, yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. The only thing that is going bad for Saelemaekers is that the fans are just on his ass. That's it. Because Saelemaekers for a 21-year-old or 22-year-old is doing more than he should. Saelemaekers helped AC Milan get the Champions League last year, finishing second, and Saelemaekers this season is helping the team win the Scudetto. So the only problem Saelemaekers has is that people are always on his ass. That's it. Theo can run like that too, obviously. Theo can run forward. That attitude is good, but we need him to have that energy to further develop. He's still young and he should not be happy as... Yeah, I agree. Krunic recovered some very important... Yeah, Krunic, guys, was absolutely insane. Guys, Krunic is a player that... I don't think Krunic is a player that you have to keep. You have to keep Krunic because not only is a fantastic footballer, but he's such a smart human being. If you look at his interview after I think it was after the Atalanta game, like the guy is very, very, very astute, very aware of his role in the team, and Krunic was absolutely fantastic. I think that, I mean, Krunic right now, guys, is putting Benacer on the bench. So, Krunic could probably start again against Sassuolo. It really depends. It really depends because I guess that's what Pioli has to think about. He has to think about, am I going to play Krunic instead of Benacer, or am I going to play Messias instead of Saelemaekers? Maybe he's thinking, can I play Rebic instead of Giroud? But I don't think that. Leao is definitely playing there. Kessie is definitely playing. Tonali is definitely playing. We know this for sure. Calabria, I think he's definitely playing. Kalulu's definitely playing. Tomori, Teo Hernandez, Mike Maignan. So who are the players that he has options? Can he play Benacer, Kessie, Tonali? Or is going to play Kessie, Tonali, Krunic? I don't know. Which one would you play? Which one would you do? Yeah, he was great. 100% he was great. Krunic before the injury was very good. Him in central midfield positions where he needs to shine. Yeah, he was... What a season. What a season he's had. Saelemaekers is the new scapegoat after Krunic and Castillo. Yeah, he's been used as a scapegoat for sure. Ryder Krunic may someday become a great coach. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Even watching the first half and having heard his interview, that's exactly what came to my mind. Like, this guy is probably going to be a very good coach. Yeah. Krunic has played as fullback, DM, attacking midfield, and winger. He's important as fuck. Yeah, 100%. Krunic has become a very important player for us. We need a player like him, and his interview was great the other day. Yeah, exactly, Carlo. Krunic is very important. What about Brahim Diaz? What about Brahim Diaz, guys? What's going on with Brahim Diaz? Well, okay. I don't have any agendas against Brahim Diaz. Sorry, guys. Alright, I'm back. Technical bullshit, whatever. No, what we're saying, Brahim Diaz. Honestly, I like that we have Brahim Diaz coming from the bench. I think that's pretty good. Having Brahim Diaz coming from the bench is a great weapon to have, because if you need, you can man, that's you can really hurt your team, the team you're playing against, if you need to bring in that kind of player, because he could come in those last 20 minutes and just break the game in half with his speed, with his dribbling, especially when the opposing team at that point is losing its legs. You bring in a fresh Brahim Diaz, you can really break the game in half. So it's great to have Brahim Diaz coming from the bench. It is great to have a player like Rebic coming from the bench. And if you're playing with Saelemaekers, it is great to have Messias coming off the bench. Honestly, I like I like this idea. It's almost like a reverse of tradition. Start defensive, finish offensive. It's reinventing football. Reinvent football. Diaz is a mystery. He's too weak. He gets muscled off the ball too easy. Also, is very erratic. He has the ball. He looks to pass right away instead of taking time. He's afraid. Well, okay. Look, I like Diaz. I like the way he plays. I see him bring the ball forward a lot. I see him press like a maniac. He's not as precise as Krunic. He's not as precise as Krunic. He lacks precision. And yes, he does get pushed off the ball easily. That is one of his weaknesses. But having Diaz come off the bench this game is a super weapon to have. Mind you, the first game against Sassuolo, when we lost 3-1, we started with Chiara and Romagnoli at centre back plus Bakayoko. I think our chances are way better. Yeah. I mean, I think that was the first game. Magnan played after his injury. I think that was the first game he played. I think the team in that period, there were players that were in and out. The team was playing every 3 days, so the team was getting. The team was hurting. Now we have a good numerical roster in depth, so there's more rotation, and it's easier to manage those injuries with more rotation, I guess, because we've been doing pretty well as far as injuries in these last weeks. Yeah, so honestly, when it comes to this game, we have all the weapons necessary to completely beat this team, no problem whatsoever. Sassuolo is a team with a lot of limits. Now, I'm going to do a very in-depth tactical analysis of Sassuolo this afternoon later on with Antonio, but I can tell you a few things about Sassuolo right away. Sassuolo has a very weak defense. Sassuolo has leaked almost as many goals as we have scored. So the difference between our defense and their defense is astronomical as far as goals conceded. As far as goals scored, they have scored a little bit less than we have. Just a few, like I think 4 goals less. What Sassuolo has that is important is they have a diamond up top that is a top team diamond. Traore, Raspadori, Scamacca, Berardi. All those 4 players could be in Inter, Juve, Milan. They could all literally be in your top 4, in your offensive positions. They could play for any of the teams. But after that, the double pivots, the defense, the bench, there's a big distance. Big distance. So obviously we are a team that is structured, much more competitive. But what we have to be very careful of is is their offensive power, so we have to be very focused. We have to defend very well, and we have to be very careful in how we move the ball, and we have to play with confidence and with knowing that if we do everything correct, we're going to win. So, yeah. Calciomercato.com, Milan are expecting to hold talks with Gabriel Jesus. I know you don't like him, but considering we can't have two youngs. Gabriel Jesus. Okay, so if Gabriel Jesus comes, then he's the number one. You can have Origi, Gabriel Jesus, and Giroud. That's a very good offensive line. It's a very good offensive line. Diaz is still on loan, so it's better to keep him for another year to run down his loan deal. Even if he becomes a great player, Real would buy him again, so just use him and get someone else. Yeah, that's right. Very well said. We're spending winter in CL next season. Not like bench players won't have a chance to play. We're spending winter in CL next season. Pretty sure everyone will get a show their worth. What's your take about Inter fans pretending they were the underdogs and Milan were favored of winning the Scudetto? Nope, I haven't heard any Inter fans say that. I have not heard any Inter fans say that at all. No. There's no Inter fan. No, nobody in Italy believes that. I'll tell you that. Nobody in Italy believes that. What's up, Yusuf?
What's up, Roy?
Whoa, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
How come you're still awake?
Oh, I'm just doing my laundry.
Oh, all right, nice. How you feeling, my man?
Positive.
Good. You should be.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I feel a bit relaxed
Really, why? Why do you feel relaxed?
because I feel like the team is gonna win the next game. Especially the fact that Sassuolo beat us home. That gives us extra hunger to beat them at their home.
Yeah, that's true. There is a little bit of that sense that we want to take that back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because that I feel salty when they beat us. Because that Scamacca goal and Berardi ate Romagnoli. Like he broke his ankle, so get some revenge on them.
Yeah, that's true. That game hurt. It definitely hurt. Um, no, but I think the team is gonna win. I think the team's gonna win. Haven't heard any Inter fans since they blew the game in hand. Have you heard any Inter fans say that Milan was the favorite and Inter was the underdog?
No.
I haven't heard any Inter fans say that.
I honestly thought that we would end up third place. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
This team overachieved again this season,
yeah.
which shows the growth in this team.
Yeah. Some people say that the team is not didn't didn't grow from last year. What do you say about that?
No, no. I think they definitely grew. You could just see the players, especially Tonali. Last
Yeah,
season, no one wanted him to play. Everyone wanted him out.
true. Tonali, Leao,
Yeah,
almost the whole squad. There's very few that you can say maybe you haven't seen a big growth, but everybody else, yeah.
maybe that Fiorentina game, the one we played where Leao scored last season, we would have tied the game or lost it.
Last season I don't remember.
Like I'm saying, like if we have played that game last season where Leao scored in like the 87th minute or the 86th minute, I don't think that would happen last season.
I can't remember. Some media saying that Inzaghi did great even after losing Hakimi and Lukaku, but they don't talk about the players they kept without paying their salaries. Okay. What do you think of Gabriel Jesus joining Milan? Is that a
I
name that you like?
I honestly don't know like much about him. I heard he's a Milan fan.
Yeah, so Kojo says, article from 2016, Gabriel Jesus confirms, I said no to Inter and Juventus, not least because I'm a Milan fan. He said before joining Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. Well, that's good. I'm all about that.
I mean, Maldini said it himself. We will only get players that want to play for Milan. So if he really wants to play, then I'll take him.
Yeah, wow. If our offensive trio next year is Gabriel Jesus, Origi, and Giroud, we have a 25-year-old, a 27-year-old, and a veteran. That's good. That's depth. That's some serious depth.
Yeah, Origi can play on the wings too.
True. He can play on the wings as well. Correct. Both wings.
Yeah. I have a close friend who's a Liverpool fan and he loves Origi
Really? Why?
because he's a clutch player. Like I watched a game with him, the one versus Atletico, that's a couple of years ago, and Origi scored that corner kick where Alexander took that corner and Origi headed the ball in, and he won the game because of him.
Oh. Yeah, yeah. I'll be honest. Like, I think, uh, I think, I think we're over. What? No. Yeah, we're overestimating him. Like, I think he will be good, but he's not going to be like a top player good. He's going to be
He's a
Rebbe.
he's a he's a bench player, I feel like, who
Yeah, he's.
comes on and makes a difference.
Yeah, yeah. Um, would you keep Rebic next season?
Depends. If we're gonna sign another left wing, then I would get rid of him. Like I heard we're interested in a player called Lang, or
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
from the Belgium league. Yeah, I would get him and send Rebic off because the guy Lang is younger than Rebic, so he has potential.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard of Neil Lang. I haven't seen him play, so I can't really judge.
Because this could be an opportunity to sell Rebic for a good price. Because later on, if he just stays in the bench, then his value will just drop.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think it can be a very interesting summer. I wonder how many changes Milan is going to make in the end. Roy, did you know Chiellini was a Milan fan when he was young? I didn't know, but I know that he played with Milan youth teams.
Same with Locatelli.
Yeah, Locatelli was born in the youth squad. Well, no, no, no. But Chiellini did not play in the youth academy of Milan. He played in tournaments, but he did not play like in a full season academy in Milan, as far as I know.
Wasn't
I've,
Locatelli a Milan fan?
Locatelli was a Milan fan, but Locatelli was born in Milan. He was created by Milan, all the way in the academies. He came through the Milan system. You didn't know that?
No. I know he played for the youth team. He was with Calabria, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was with Calabria, right? He came through all the ranks. Cristante, Darmian.
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma came to me when he was not all the ranks. But yeah,
Okay.
Donnarumma. Uh, Morning all. What have we been talking about? How we miss Donnarumma so much. Locatelli actually played for Milan. The thing with some Man City players is that some don't tend to play well once leaving Pep. This is after learning and playing the system after a while. Says who? What? Says who? Locatelli was Juve fan since child, but he was through Milan youth system. How do you know he was a Juve fan?
Yeah, because he said after he signed for Juve, I'm a Juve
Oh,
fan.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I see. I'm sure if he signed for Inter, you would have said he was an Inter fan. These guys, dude. Even Bonucci said this bullshit when he came to Milan. Locatelli is a Juventus player now, so we don't care. Locatelli first goal was against Juve. Awkward. Wow.
Yeah, he scored that banger.
I remember it. Yeah, he cried, right? Didn't he cry after he scored?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, it was an insane goal. We won the game 1-0.
Yeah, yeah. Because he was like, "Oh, this is it. I made it."
He was
Yeah,
later benched by Biglia or Biglia.
yeah. And what we learned is that he did not accept that role too well. He wanted to be, he wanted to play, and he didn't accept the bench. Cutrone was the same. Gattuso, I gotta say, he was not able to manage the locker room the same way Ibra with Pioli have. Because I feel like maybe with Pioli and Ibra, Locatelli would have been more humble. Cutrone would have been more humble. But those guys were like, no, I don't want to be on the bench. I want to play. Uh, and the rest is history.
Yeah, he also had Higuain.
Right. Higuain, yeah. Higuain was such a nasty player for me, man.
Yeah, yeah. He
He
didn't
was
put any effort.
no, no, and every time he was always angry. He was always so angry. Always angry with his teammates. Yeah.
Gattuso had a much worse team.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But Gattuso, he gave the team an identity. He gave the team an identity, and that team didn't achieve the objective for 1 point because of a freak goal. The fucking guy, Benevento was it? The goalkeeper that scored?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, but Gattuso gave a team like finally after the whole roller coaster with Yongong Lee, Mihailovic, Montella, Leonardo, Allegri, Seedorf, Brocchi. You know, like Gattuso was fine. Okay, this one here is Milan. Now I'm starting to see Milan again. He was able to bring that fire,
A
that spirit,
purpose. He gave them a purpose.
and also Maldini was there too. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, he was able to transmit purpose to the team, and then and then Giampaolo, dude, what the fuck, dude? Giampaolo's like, what? Honestly, dude, when Giampaolo was nominated the next coach of Milan, I was like, that's it. We're back in the banter era. It was so depressing with Giampaolo because Giampaolo, come on, there's no way Giampaolo can give you confidence like Gattuso can. There's no way.
Well, that was a big mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
But then I
But
thought the same thing when we hired Pioli.
yeah, me too.
Turned out to be very.
Absolutely. I was like, when we hired Pioli, I was like, well, we were getting Giampaolo 2.0. That's what it felt like to me. Uh, but instead, Pioli was very lucky that Maldini had the great genius idea of bringing Ibrahimovic into the squad. And Pioli did a very good job, first at managing the team with Ibrahimovic, but also one thing that at that point, Çalhanoğlu was the leader of the team. And Çalhanoğlu was very angry or when Gattuso left. And a lot of the players did not liked Gattuso. They loved him. And they did not feel the same fire with Giampaolo. But they did say, or Çalhanoğlu said, that when Pioli came, he felt that fire that Gattuso was bringing. So there is that. But Ibra really helped Pioli get to where he is. with Ibra in the bench, Ibra in the games, his goals, his bigger than life charisma. You know, that was a turning point for AC Milan. If Gattuso had Ibra here, Locatelli would have been Tonali levels of concentration and potential. Instead, he went to Sassuolo and wasted 3 seasons. 100%. Exactly. Higuain, it felt like Higuain was going through a midlife crisis when he joined us. It literally did. Higuain's pissed that he was replaced by Ronaldo and needed to play for Milan. He lost his mind because of rage. Yep, it was very obvious. Il Gordo put me off signing Juve players ever again. Yeah, it was terrible. Okay, how many current Man City players after then Kevin De Bruyne and maybe Sterling have played well for their national team? Diaz, Bernardo, Cancelo, Foden, and others have not played well on international level. I wouldn't say they have not played well at international level. Foden,
Don't City have a defender called Laporte?
I don't know. I have no clue. And I'm proud that I have no clue. Because I don't give a damn about who's playing in that team. That team does not impress me whatsoever. But whatever. What about him?
Yeah, I think he's good. He plays for the French team.
Yeah. No, I mean, what Cancelo plays good everywhere. Foden, I thought he did well in the Euros. No,
Yeah, Foden.
yeah,
Yeah,
he did well in the Euros. Maybe the Portuguese players less. Giampaolo elite. Best thing about Vegatuzor was the Bakayoko and Kessie versus a Cherby episode. Yeah, Bakayoko played great that season, by the way. Giampaolo didn't even know his own tactics. He was second guessing himself after the first match. Pioli mentioned that when he first came in, he had to sort out Giampaolo's mess. It took time. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Chala leaving is the reason we are top of the league. More room for the great Krunic. Ah, that is hilarious. Giampaolo interviews were so damn shit that idiot played Rodriguez over Teo just because Teo didn't have experience with Serie A. Wow. Davide Romano. Forza Milan, Davide Romano. Formation of AC Milan 1-3 Sassuolo, Magnan, Florenzi, Chiari, Tomori, Teo, Bakayoko, Benacer, Saelemaekers, Diaz, Leao, Ibra. Wow. What did you what difference do you see this time around now that we have the whole team in a very healthy state, right? Do you agree with me on that?
yeah.
So, how do you compare our roster back then, the state of the roster back then, to the state of the roster right now?
Oh, the defense. Kyer and Romagnoli and Tomori and Kalulu. Completely different how they play.
Yeah,
And Bakayoko, like, but I think Bakayoko was the reason why Scamacca scored that first goal.
right.
He makes a lot of mistakes. So if we have Tonali, they won't. Like, we're not gonna make any mistakes.
Yeah, essentially, we're the difference. Yeah, the difference is well, we have Calabria and Florenzi right now, but Kalulu and Tomori have been absolutely phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And then Tonali was not there, but also Kessie was not there, guys. Also, Kessie was not there. So it's very different now with Tonali and Kessie. Kessie is still a very good player, and let's not forget that. Diaz at that time, Leao was definitely not the Leao of today. Definitely not. And we didn't have Giroud, I'm assuming.
I don't remember.
Yes, City have Laporte. He was not good enough to play for France, so he switched national team to Spain. Laporte. Wait, hold on. But if you tell me that this guy is not good enough to play for France, so he switched to play for Spain, I think if you're in the Spanish national team, you pretty much can be in the French national team too. When it comes to quality, the Spanish national team is definitely higher than everybody else. Tonali, Tomori, and Kalulu. Yeah. Don't forget Romagnoli face planted himself.
Did he also get a red card? I think he got a red card in that game.
I think. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah. PTSD from the Romagnoli slip. What is your opinion on Romagnoli, Botman, Kalulu, this triangle of players? A lot of people are very opinionated on it.
Uh, if Botman comes, then I think Romagnoli will leave because there's just too much competition. We have Kyer too. People forget that we also have Kyer.
Now, people are suggesting that since Kalulu has confirmed himself as a first team player, maybe spending 30 million on Botman would not be wise. Rather spend 15 million on a young upcoming youngster that, maybe with a smaller profile than
We
Botman.
already have that youngster, Gabia.
Gabia?
Yeah.
So you would give that spot to Gabia?
No, I wouldn't. I would send Gabia on loan and get Botman because we still need that depth.
So
You
so
never
you
know.
you are all for spending 30 million for Bobman, because
Yeah.
the argument is, why not spend less so you can have more for the offense? But you say no. Let's be diligent. Let's spend 30 million to make sure we have an excellent defense.
Yeah, because if Kalulu or Tomori gets injured, we're gonna have to put Kyer, and Kyer is old. He's gonna have fitness issues. So who are we gonna put instead of Kyer if we're playing Champions League and Serie A?
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I wonder if when Kaya comes back, if he's going to take his spot back. What do you think? You think that's going to happen?
I don't think so, honestly.
It's hard to speculate that. I agree, but who knows? Who knows? Okay, so you would spend the 30 million on Botman.
Yeah. I mean, if you spend 30 million on Botman, it does not mean that we're not gonna get a good right wing. I don't know why people are saying that. They think that if we get Botman, then we're not getting a good right wing. I don't believe that.
Well, I don't think. Yeah, I agree with you there as well. Maybe I think what they're saying is get a good right wing and get a good someone else, instead of Botman. But
Honestly, like
yeah, go ahead.
getting Origi for free and getting Botman, I think that's a good deal instead of paying somebody 30 million to get a player at the same level of Origi. And
Yeah, yeah. I like how you think, my man. I definitely agree because defense is, if you can't score, you better fucking defend because it's the only way you can get a result if you can't score. So defense is too important. Too important. You
yeah,
know.
my argument is that we need depth. Like if Tomori or Kalulu gets injured, then I don't think Kyer can play Champions League and Serie A, so we need somebody else.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They can do a heavy rotation between Kier, Butman, Kalula, and Tomori. I mean, if you have that, and we're talking about three central defenders that are very young. Kalulu 21, 22, Tomori 24, and Botman 22, 23, I think. That's the next 10 years. You have the three top defenders for the next 10 years. So, yeah, I agree. We
I
should
could
definitely
I
look at
could
that.
also argue that it also gives the manager or the coach flexibility in his formations. He could choose to play three at the back at
Yeah,
some games.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And remember that Pioli has said, came out of his mouth, that Kalulu's best position is at three at the back, him being the right central defender. So Pioli sees Kalulu. That's how Pioli sees Kalulu. If you have Botman, Tomori, and Kalulu, who knows? It depends. You still need like a playmaker kind of player in the back. I haven't seen Botman play. Have you?
No. Well, we have Kyer. Kyer can do those long balls. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
Kyer do it.
Chiara can do it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so interesting. So you are on the Botman. You're all good for Botman. Good, good. I agree. I agree. Fix the defense first. Solidify the boat. Make sure there's no leaks, and your boat will float forever. The future of the fast and agile center backs, no place for Romagnolis anymore. Well, guys, first of all of this that you're saying about Romagnoli that is slow and all this crap is absolutely not true. Romagnoli has actually pretty high top level speed because we checked it, and it's not that, and it's pretty high. As a matter of fact, Romagnoli is being sought after important teams, not just Lazio. Juve is thinking about him, Chelsea, Barcelona. His agent is putting. I don't know what his agent is doing, but a lot of people also have underestimated Romagnoli quite a lot. Now, Tomori is a whole different level. Absolutely, 100%. Kalulu, I would say, also at this point.
Romagnoli's how he plays doesn't fit this team. I feel like we play very aggressive. Romagnoli is not that type of player.
Yeah, Romagnoli is better suited for a team that plays like, let's say, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, a team that's defensive.
Yeah, a team that has a low block, because he's very good, in that. But with Tomori and Kalulu, you can really push the defenders up because they have incredible recovery, and they just the way they play. The way they play allows you to build to keep the
Yeah,
defenders up.
I think Romagnoli will do very good for Lazio.
Yeah, if he goes to Lazio, I think he'll do very well too. Yeah, yeah. I
That's
think so
why
too.
that's why he did well under Gattuso, because Gattuso didn't really play very aggressive.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Um, Kalulu, Tomori, Botman, rotation, carrier, sub, Gabia, backup. Yeah, I don't, I'm not so sure that Kjaer is going to be lost in all of this, huh? Guys, Kjaer might still have a lot to say. We'll see. The thing about Kjaer, that the thing that Kjaer has better than all of them is the feet. Like, Kjaer is a very good footballer. Technically, his IQ and his personality, charisma. He's a captain of Denmark. So I wouldn't underestimate Kjaer's role next season so much. I'm all for strengthening our defense. Defense wins championships. 100%, Yango. 100%. Guess what? Who has the best defense in Serie A? Youssef, who do you think has the best defense in Serie A?
Inter,
No?
really? If you
Yeah.
see the goals conceded on the table,
Yeah.
who
Who do
it's
you think?
us?
It is us.
I didn't know that.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, that's insane. Because Kalulu is like 21, Tomori is like 23,
Yep.
and they're the best in the league.
I think, yeah, yeah. It is, we are at 30, they are at 31, and I think Juve is at 34.
Oh, the sky is the limit.
And you know what? Check this out. Oh, and Napoli's at 31 or 32 also. But check this out. Do you know who the 15 with the best defense?
The fifth,
Yeah, take a wild guess.
Juventus,
No. Two more guesses. Take a wild guess.
Roma,
Think of all 20 teams in the Serie A.
Udinese,
Good guess. Good guess. One more. Try one more. Think about.
Lazio,
Okay, I'll give you a clue. Think about who is one of the best defenders in Serie A right now. That is not playing in one of the big teams.
oh, Torino,
Torino.
Bremer.
Guys, Torino has a defensive record that should put them in fifth position. If they scored 20 or 30 more goals, uh, Torino would be fifth right now. That's crazy, crazy stats.
That's all because of Bremen.
Yeah,
Bremer.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I heard Bayern's after him.
Oh yeah, of course.
If
That
Bayern's after him, I don't think any Italian club could
yeah,
compete with that.
I agree. Because especially, and if Bayern is after you, you're a damn fucking great player. You're not a good player. You're a great player. Especially when Bayern is serious about you, and I definitely see him at Bayern for sure. Against Sassuolo was Mike's first game back from injury. Yeah, he was rushed back for that match. Correct. Romagnoli slipped. Yes, and got a red. The game was a comedy of errors. Carey scored an own goal. Yeah, it was a very It was a very different period in our season for sure. Oh wait, Giroud wasn't available for the Sassuolo match that time. We played Pietro Pellegrini. There you go. Right now, the only player that is not available is Chiari. If buying Botman means that Inter or Juve don't buy him, then I'm all. Yes. Also because Juventus could go for him.
Yeah,
Because
because Delit, right? Delit might leave.
say what? No, delete.
Yeah, I heard he might leave.
I've heard that too. It seems like they want to keep him, but Juventus lost Chiellini. You know,
Yeah.
so you have to replace Chiellini with a centre back, left-footed centre back. Chiellini is left-footed, and that's also why Romagnoli is being linked with Juve because he's left-footed. But also Botman is being linked to Juve because he's a central defender, left-footed. I can see Kiara can play again and be the Ibra 2.0 in the dressing room, off the pitch, and mentor, although he didn't win us as many as Ibra. Wow. Hold on. 30 million sub defender is not worth it. Kalulu can't be replaced. We need Botman. Guys seem to forget that we ended up playing Roma and Venezia with Gabbia Kalulu partnership because Tomorica and Romagnoli were all out injured in January.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I would also add on to the fact that defenders get yellow cards and they get suspended.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. Don't buy Botman when shit hits the fan. We can always play Krunic at centre back. Funny. The right back position looks sorted with Kalulu, Calabria, and Florenzi. Yeah, 100%. Maybe the most solid right centre back in the whole of Europe. I'm gonna say that Kalulu, Calabria, Florenzi is the most solid mother effing right right back in what right group or whatever you want to call it in the whole of Europe.
But I think the best right back is the guy from Napoli or the guy from Lazio.
Who's the guy from Lazio?
Di Lorenzo, I think.
No, that's Napoli.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
and
I agree with you there. Yeah,
and the guy who played for the Euros in the Italy national team.
yeah, that's Di Lorenzo.
Oh, Di Lorenzo, yeah.
The guy that plays there Lazio is what the fuck is his name? Oh, he's the Italian guy. Oh my god, what the fuck is his name?
Lazzari.
Lazzari.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Lazzari is also
Yeah,
up there.
I agree with you. 100%. 100%. Romagnoli is done at Milan. Yep. Looks like he is. We can get a third defender for much lower than 30 million. See, some people are not so into the whole Botman thing.
Yeah, but that third defender for much lower than 30 million is Gabbia.
Good point.
So it's like, would you rather take Botman or Gabbia? And we've seen Gabbia do mistakes. So it's better if we send him on loan.
That's a good point. No one still start all games. There are 3 competitions to fight for. True. True. we need to salute Manyan as well for that defensive record. Oh, guys, for me, Manyan is the best player of the whole Serie A. I mean, 100%. 100%. We're just better than Inter all over the pitch. Give me every one of our players over theirs any day. Really.
How it takes Skriniar. Skriniar?
Barella,
Uh,
Brozovic, Perisic, Lautaro, Martinez. They're all very interesting players. The defenders. You don't have many, but like Barella, I mean, it'd be nice to have Barella in your squad. Perisic. I prefer Leao to Perisic. But center forward, do you prefer Giroud or do you prefer Lautaro Martinez?
Martinez.
Well, right now I prefer Giroud. Lautaro Martinez can go screw himself. But let's say in FIFA, probably yeah, you know.
Thing is, can Martinez play as a lone striker or does he need a partner?
Martinez?
Yeah, can he play as a lone striker or does he need somebody else?
Well, according to Inzaghi, he needs someone else.
That's the thing. Did we ever see him play by himself as a striker?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I don't think so. Yeah, I haven't seen that. So I don't know if that would work.
This is a good argument here that Tick Size brings, and I think I have pondered about this, opined on it. We can talk about it. Yeah, I'm just coming to realize that we need to replace Kessie with a like-to-like player, as this will hurt Pioli's tactics. Sanchez or Benacer is not the answer. We need a specific defensive midfielder. Well, I'm going to argue that from the decisions they're making, it looks like they want to push away from the more quantity aspect to a more quality aspect. So Sanchez, Benacer, Tonali, more possession football, more precision, more football. Kessie, you can afford to lose the ball because Kessie is very good as a defensive midfielder. So I think that's what they want to do. But regardless, I agree with what Tick Size is saying. Kessie provides a defensive aspect that is very important, and we can't just take it for granted. His work defensively in that midfield has always been incredibly important. What do you think about that, Yusuf?
I have a prediction that when Pioli sees Sanchez in training, he's going to put Sanchez as an attacking midfielder,
Yeah,
and the two defensive mids will be Benacer, Tonali, and
yeah,
Pobega coming in for the defensive role.
yeah. That's what I think too. That's
Thing
what I think
is,
as well.
thing is, when this whole Kessie situation started, I was actually quite angry. And I was chatting with Antonio here on the live before. I was pretty pissed. But man, I wish Kessie just signs the contract because he's a good player, man. Like,
If we can get, oh my God, if we have Tonali, Benacer, Kessie, and Renato Sanchez, ooh,
yeah, that would be a dream.
oh mamma mia.
Like, it's such a shame that Kessie is leaving because we could potentially have one of the best midfielders in the world.
Oh my God. Yes, yes, it would be. It would be.
Yeah, with Kessie's strength, Sanchez' quality, Tonali's aggression, defensive capabilities.
Oh my God, that would be a dream, man. That would be like the best. Yeah, it'd be the best
Yeah, and
midfielder.
Benacer with the finesse.
Oh yeah,
That's a complete midfield right there.
that'd be the best team in the world if you had that. Yeah, hopefully he does sign again. I mean, why wouldn't he, dude? Like, why would you go to another team? Like, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
like we're winning the league. Like the next step would be Champions League.
Right. Like, you know Milan is going to win it. So why are you going to go to another club? Like, you're going to go to another club just to see you lose it and your former team win it. Like, what the fuck are these players thinking? Like, right now Milan is that team. And Manchester United is saying right now in England that they want to follow the Milan model. They're not saying they want to follow the Barcelona model. They're saying they want to follow the Milan model. Milan right now is in the front lines of football innovation. What they're doing is incredible. Why would you go away from this to join a team that is not going to win the Champions League anytime soon? But you know Milan is going to be winning the Champions Leagues in the next upcoming years. Milan is on an upward cycle. We know that when Milan hits its cycles, it's over for everybody. And then they go dormant again. It's just been history. Keeps on repeating itself.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. I would love to see that midfield.
Yeah, me too.
Kessie, Tonali, Benacer, and Sanchez.
Yeah, I agree. That would be
And I
that.
don't know why Kessie wouldn't want to be a part of that. The
Yeah,
competition there is just you gotta fight for your place.
100%. Because if he goes to Barcelona, he's not seeing the pitch.
I think that phone call with Xavi might have persuaded him.
Yeah, fucking Xavi. But who do they have in their midfield? I mean, is someone maybe someone is leaving in their midfield?
I don't. They have Frankie De Jong, Pedri.
And Gavi, right? Isn't Gavi
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
De Jong, Pedri, and Gavi. Those are their three midfielders. Are you sure?
I know for sure De Jong and Pedri, but I don't know who's the other one.
Let me check. I want to know who their midfielders are. Because if you have Pedri, De Jong, Gavi, like those guys are playing, and you're on the bench. Let me just check. Barcelona, Getafe. So the last game. How did they play? They played with Puig, Busquets, and Gavi. Luke De Jong came in as a sub. Okay, I don't know half of these players.
Yeah, man. Like I'm checking the lineup now. That Barcelona team is not very impressive.
No, it's not. It really is not.
Yeah, I don't know why he's going there. If he's going there.
Yeah. Did you watch the Europa League final?
No.
I didn't even know it was happening today. Did you know?
No. Yeah, I did know.
I had no clue, dude. I just like realized that I saw a picture of Hagwe lifting the trophy. It's like, oh shit.
Good for him. Good for him, man.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really, you know, I, I wasn't too. What did you think of that whole operation?
With Hauge.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he had. He would have played in this team, especially with Messias. Would you argue that Messias was a better signing than Hagwe?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question.
I think Messias overall did a better job than Hagwe.
Yeah, I think Messias, specifically because he's a very mature professional person and humble, and well, Hagwe's still a kid, he's still learning.
Because if you put Hauge in that Atletico game we played, I don't think he would have scored that goal that Messias did.
Say it?
If you put Hauge in for that Atletico game we played where Messias scored, do you
Oh,
think Hauge would have scored?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I can't answer that question because
I can say that Messias has been more consistent than Hauge.
Yeah, I think one of the issues that he had with Hagwe was that the way he envisioned Hagwe was he played on the left, and our left is stacked.
Yeah,
I,
with Rebic and Leao.
I, and for some reason he never played him on the right or in the middle, where he played most of his career. I'm not sure. I'm not sure
But the
what.
thing is, now we play with Kessie as a number 10 and Krunic. I don't think Hauge would have had a single minute on the pitch.
Yeah, yeah. No, no. I was very happy with the Messias operation, and I think they did an amazing job of the Messias operation. I think it was a brilliant piece of market, the Messias operation. And the reason why I say that is because Messias came to Milan essentially for as a loan, right? And we checked Grealish's numbers. Grealish was spent. They spent 100 million for Grealish,
Bro,
cash.
he's a bench player now. 100 million for a bench player.
Yeah, 100 million for a bench player. His numbers are worse than Messias' numbers. Messias has better numbers, goals and assists altogether. That's why like Messias was a great operation if you consider what we paid for him. Like Kalulu,
Yeah. Even Teo, 20 million for Teo.
even Teo, yeah. 28 million for Leao, I think. Today, an article in the Gazzetta dello Sport came out today saying, first time I've seen this, saying Leao is 100 million, sirens from Paris, but Milan wants to keep him. So, from 28 million to 100 million. Wow, that's something to look at. I mean, honestly, Tonali was a steal too. Like Tonali, we lowballed Brescia like crazy with the Tonali thing. But Tonali, like, we spent what, 20 million, I think, in the end.
Yeah. Even Kyer, I don't know how much we got Kyer for.
Yeah, Kjaer was also Kjaer, yeah, and Tomori was like 28 million. Tonali was daylight robbery, yeah, 100%. Saelemaekers, I think 4 million. Calabria for free, pretty much. We've always had him. Florenzi, 3 million.
The biggest deal was Mike for 18. Was it 18 or 15?
When?
For Mike Magnan.
Oh, Mike Mania, yeah, 15, 18, yeah.
And
Like,
now he's worth like 50.
yeah, there was an article that came out the other day. Manchester United wants to put 50 million on the table for Mike Mania. So that's triple, right? 15, 15, 45. That's triple more. It's almost triple. We'd be tripling. Well, we would be doubling the profit.
Now
The
the issue is just trying to keep the players. Because yeah, we're hearing that Leao wants to stay and stuff, but last season we also heard that Cassie wants to stay, and look what happened.
Yeah, that's the next step. That's absolutely the next step to make the club even better, to be able to solidify the contracts and give these players.
Because it's one thing buying the players for cheap, and it's another thing trying to keep the players.
Yeah, no, no, for sure. The fact that they were able to convince what's his name, I think as long as they should.
I think it's up to the players.
It
Like,
is
look
up
at
to the players.
Teo. Teo stayed. He was happy with the 4.5 million. He took the initiative to stay.
Um, yes, Yes, I think it is up to the players. And the one player that I'm looking at is Benacer. Now, Benacer, I think, is being offered somewhere 3.5. So, but that also kind of places Benacer in the hierarchy. I don't know if it's a position that he would want to be in because the Hernandez is 4.5. They want to. Leao is probably going to be close to 5 plus bonuses. Origi coming in already at 4.5. All these other players. I don't know if Benacer is going to accept that 3.5. We will see. It's something that we have to look at as far as Benacer goes.
Yeah. I hope he stays. Like Theo is an example. Like he signed a contract. He never really made a big deal out of it.
No, yeah. Theo has made it clear that he feels like that this is his town, this is his team, and he wants to fight for these colors. So the question is, do we keep Kalulu and Tomori? Yeah.
Of course.
What kind of question is that, bruh? Tomori, Botman, and Kalulu on the right? Yeah, possibly. You can do that. You have a lot of options. Eleven football players start a football game. The best team don't have just 11 starting players. To compete in multiple competitive, we need 15, 16 great players and maybe 5, 6 good, decent backups. I agree, 100%. Theo signed because his wife was pregnant. He probably wanted to settle down. Theo costed 22 million. What a deal. We haven't done any crazy expenditure, you know.
Yeah.
This team was built with very, very intelligent buying rather than splashing the cash.
I mean, we sold Cotroni for 25 million and got Leao for 28. So basically, we exchanged Cotroni for Leao.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good exchange. That's definitely a good exchange.
Yeah.
Giroud was 1 million. Botman is going to be 30 million. Maybe Botman is going to be one of the ones that's going to cost the most that we get. But, you know, one of these is going to end up being a bad one, you know, so it's bound to happen.
Do you think Brahim Diaz would be a steal for 20 million? Was it 20 million?
Second,
Brahim Diaz.
for 20.
Because Brahim Diaz is in a tricky situation. Like people are saying to get rid of him. Some people are saying keep him.
I think it's
I
more than 20 million, though. It's like 27 or something.
think is he has next season to prove himself. So
Yeah.
I don't understand why some people are saying to get rid of him when he has one more season with us.
Yeah, I think we should keep Brahim Diaz for next season and see.
Because we already paid for his loan. It's a 2-year loan. Why would we get rid of him?
It's a 2 year loan, and the team gave him 2 years to grow and to see whether or not it'll be worth spending the money. And we'll see where Real Madrid is at that point. It's up to Brahim Diaz to prove to the world that he is the best option. He's going to have a tough time next season because next season Sanchez is going to be there. Luckily for him, Sanchez is probably going to get injured here and there, so Brahim Diaz can play. But Brahim Diaz is going to be competing against Sanchez. That ain't easy.
But he could also learn from Sanchez. He could, because Sanchez is a more physical player than Brahim. Maybe he can learn some tricks from Sanchez.
Oh yeah, and And that's honestly one of the issues with Brahim Diaz is that he's not had competition in that position in doing those kind of things. Therefore, there was no iron to sharpen iron. If we're going to stick with this wage structure, then we have to be prepared to lose a player to transfer every season. I think we should push the upper limit up by 1 million. I think so. I agree, and I think we're gonna have to do it.
I mean, they already did it with Theo. It's a 4.5 million deal. The cap is 4 million. They gave him 4.5, and he's a left back. I don't think left backs earn that much compared to strikers or wingers.
Yeah. Do you follow basketball?
No,
Scott, you know who Scottie Pippen is?
I've heard of him, but I don't know.
Scottie Pippen was one of the three players in the Chicago Bulls, the Michael Jordan Chicago Bulls, that created a dynasty. They won all those competitions, the NBA, the playoffs. They won many of them. Scottie Pippen was basically the number two in that team. Scottie Pippen had the worst contract ever. He had a contract. He was tied with the Bulls for like 8 years, and he was getting paid less than bench players. It just makes me think about contracts and teams. Reminder that we bought Caldara for 36 million. Who bought Caldara for 36 million? Was it Fassone Mirabelli or Leonardo? Guys, Leonardo is just
Yeah, I think it was Leonardo because we got Caldara with Higuain. It was like a package deal or something.
okay.
Or
Leonardo,
was it
man.
Bonucci? Don't remember.
I don't.
I
I'm not
think it
sure.
was Higuain.
Okay. Yeah, I want to say that Leonardo is pretty bad at his job.
Yeah, he spends money like it's nothing.
Yeah, he loves to spend that money.
That's why he's in PSG.
He's very good at spending lots of money. We earned 50 million from Hagwe because he won the Europa League, 3 million bonuses, and we also have 15 million share of his resale when Frankfurt sell him. Ooh, nice. Um, I think we can. I think according to the financial fair play rules, we can spend somewhere around 200, close to 300 million. I think.
That's a lot.
What?
300 million. Like if we pay 300 million this transfer window, we should be going for the Champions League.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because we already have the foundation set.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, we're basically paying Renato rumored at 18 million with Hagesel to Frankfurt. Yeah, that's correct. How the F did Leonardo get hired at PSG?
Because he was hired before. He was in PSG before. Then he left and joined us. Then he left us and he joined them.
Oh, here it is. The Bulls paid Pippen 32 million over 13 seasons. He should have been paid that over 2 seasons. Yeah, he had a shit contract. Sorry, you said to repeat that?
Because Leonardo used to work for PSG before he worked for us. He joined us, then he went back.
Oh, okay, okay. Leonardo did very good with us when Galliani was there. He really helped with the Brazilian players.
He got
But
us Paqueta. He was the one who like suggested him.
yeah, Paqueta. He'd be very useful in this team right now.
Yeah, I agree. He fits the Pioli attacking midfielder role.
Yep, yep,
Because he also goes back in defense.
exactly.
But he
Yeah,
left because Gianpaolo. Gianpaolo said he was too Brazilian.
yeah, and also Piontek. Piontek said something about Giampaolo, that when Giampaolo came, the taxes changed so much and he couldn't adapt.
I think it's because Ibra took his spot.
Piontek?
Yeah, Ibra took his spot.
Oh, Ibra was in the team when Piontek was there?
Yeah. Piontek left after Ibra came in.
Oh, okay. Doesn't have me a loss of 94.6 million this season. No, it's a loss. It's 50 million. I mean, the last numbers that they were saying was 50 million. Where did you get the 96 million? Financial impairment allows over a 3-year period will double from 30 million to 60 million. As far as I know, you can spend as much as your revenue. Right now, Milan has made a revenue, or is expected to make a revenue of close to 300 and something, and they're 50 in the red right now. Therefore, if I'm not mistaken, according to the rules, they could potentially spend up to close to 300 million without without
I
being
just
sanctioned.
I just hope that the club sale situation ends soon, because the longer we wait, the more we're gonna postpone these transfers and these renewals. And if we postpone and they get delayed, then other players would get other offers from other clubs.
Yeah, I agree.
So the
I agree.
longer we wait, it's gonna hurt us.
Yep, 100%. Actually, they were saying that next week.
Yeah, every week they say next week. Two 2 weeks ago they said next week.
Yeah, right. Um, no, but it's true. It has to get done. Also because Maldini and Massara's contracts are expiring soon.
Yeah,
So
like everything is put on hold. Like we can't do anything unless the situation ends.
yeah, yeah. That's 100% correct. It needs to happen right away.
And I'm okay with Elliot staying.
What's that?
I don't mind if Elliot stays.
Elliot stays. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah. Me
don't.
too. Yeah, me too.
I mean, they got us here. They could get us to the Champions League final. They got us from a sixth place team to a champion.
Yeah, of course. Elliot has done an incredible job. Oh my God, like what an amazing job these guys have done. I mean, people take it for granted. Like they take it, I just don't understand how people like are saying, well, it's just things are just supposed to happen magically, but things happen through work, dedication, ideas, sweat, sacrifice, and thinking things out through, making the right decisions, learning from your mistakes.
They've hired the right management.
They've hired the best man. Thank God PSG took Leonardo, by the way. Thank God that happened. But yeah, Elliot has been
I think there was a
incredible.
lot of mistakes in the past with Boban and Leonardo,
Yep,
but now they've found like the right balance.
exactly. They found the right people, and they're sticking with them, which is very good. But as you're saying, things are on hold right now, so it looks like there is still a sale ongoing. Pellegatti just put out a piece. I still have to check it. We are expected to make a net profit this season. As of January, our net profit was estimated at around 5 million plus. Oh wow. That's not included all of the revenues which we received new sponsorships. That's pretty good.
Hey Roy, I gotta go take my laundry.
All right, Yusuf. Thanks
Alright.
for
It was
joining.
nice talking to you.
Good talking to you, bro. Have a good one.
Alright. You too.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you can't spend all of that on buying players. You have to pay salaries, you have to pay for equipment, you have to pay for infrastructure. You have a lot. You have a lot of things that you have to take care of. But of course, you're not going to use all of it on buying players. I'm beginning to think it's best that Elliott stays. I feel safe with Elliott. I mean, he's done a very good job. From the second half of the season, a better the devil you know. Who knows what might happen under new ownership? Shit might hit the fan again. I like that. Better the devil you know. True. Now, one thing that I am a little bit, let's say, that I've come to learn that is quite encouraging is that these investment companies don't really get involved too much into the nitty gritty when it comes to the footballing aspect. They let the experts do their jobs. So I've said that as long as they keep the same team of people, I'm pretty confident Milan will get to where they need to get. But it's the people. It's got nothing to do with the money. It's all about the people. It's all about the people. Rule number 1: don't sell to Chinese owners. Well, I mean, it's more so because of the political situation, the geopolitical situation when it comes to China and the rest of the world. But to be honest, I mean, the Chinese guy at Inter has done very well. He's done very well, except if COVID and also the changes in money regulations that come out of China, all these things kind of messed up Inter's situation. So Inter kind of got punished by these things. So in theory, I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement. I think right now it's just not convenient. And of course, the Chinese guy that was with us earlier, Yang Gongli, I mean, he is the one that said yes to Fassone Mirabelli. You know, the Sangin has guys. Sanin has given Inter to Marotta, to Zanetti. Like, these people understand football. Yang Lee gave Milan to Fassone Mirabelli. Doesn't matter if you're Chinese. You could be Italian. If you're gonna give Milan to Fassone Mirabelli, what do you think is gonna happen? Dude, I'm Chinese and even I'm scared of Chinese. Ok. Forza diavolo, alle vivo solo per te, io non ti lascerò. Sempre con te sarò. All right. Let's check some news, and then let's close. I'm having a late night stream. What is this? Elliott take Milan from ruin to resurgence. The fund could keep the club. Ooh. Ooh. The previous ownership, okay. Alright, Elliott are listening to the offers that have arrived, but it must be stressed that they have not been looking for buyers. Okay, that is a very important statement. It's all successful. Very important statement. Bids have arrived, but the current stance is that the American fund do not have a need to sell Milan, also because they are aware that the project can still grow and guarantee a greater source of income in the future. Saki, Milan's season is a masterpiece, having invested half of what Juventus and Inter have. We were just talking about this right now. See, even
The math
Saki
behind their
is
ballot
on
measure
our level.
online sports betting. 90% of profits go to out-of-state corporations.
Not vice
Only
versa.
8.5 cents left for the homeless. Just like the lottery, another deceptive deal.
Milan are making a masterpiece because they have invested half of what Juventus and Inter have invested. A team that has spent but has not put the budget in difficulty, and that wins is rarely seen. Everything starts from the top. That is the club. With its history, its visions, its competence, up to the style. Today, Milan face the opponent in a way that seems to some unscrupulous, but it's not like that. Risk is the basis of every adventure. Guys, look at this. Look at what he says. Look at the things he says. This man is he's a living poet. He is a poet. If you do not take risks, you go in the routine and you're already in pessimism. Courage and innovation is the child of knowledge. This team, together with the smaller ones, is a team that plays differently. Wow. Wow. Maldini and Massad are working on 6 deals, a sign they're part of the future. Okay, okay. Bob Renato Origi, who else? Pierre Kalulu, Benacer, Rafael Leao. Very interesting. Hello? What up?
Hi, Roy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I saw you alone, so I thought I can't leave you hanging.
Hey, I saw Calabria's first half against Atalanta. It's true, he had a terrible first half.
Okay. I don't want to upset anybody, but you saw with your own eyes.
I saw it with my own eyes.
I mean, I mean,
If you,
our mutual friend has produced a lot of statistics on the matter, and on paper, it doesn't look good, Roy. His performance this season.
well, defensively they look great. That's not no, that's not even a question. On the ball, maybe you can argue that. Sure, go ahead, argue it.
No, no, no. I'm not going to argue. Listen. I'm very happy with him. I hope he stays at Milan for a long time. I stick to my point. Uh, the pillars of the club seem to be evolving, and he doesn't appear to be evolving with the rest of the pillars at this moment in time. Hopefully that will change. I really hope that will change, but I'm not overly concerned. Obviously, like all Milan supporters, my focus is only on Sunday. I can only think about Sunday right now. You know, so
How are you feeling about Sunday?
um, I'm a touch on against Atalanta. I was very nervous. Previously, before that, I wasn't nervous, but against Atalanta, I was very nervous. But when I saw the match and I saw that Atalanta was not parking the bus, I was quite happy and I was confident that we would get a result. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that we would lose and we would get no less than a point. Fortunately, we won. This one, I'm a little upset with some Milan supporters because they're looking as if it's already over, as if we've done it. We haven't crossed the line yet. And when a team has nothing to play for, you know what I mean, they They could be on the beach, or they could be very competitive and give us a lot of trouble. And we have lost to them twice in a row. Yes, a different team than what we be putting out on Sunday. But until we cross that line, the job is not done.
Yeah, I definitely understand your state of mind, and it is true. It is true that you don't want to be overconfident. You don't want to be arrogant. You need to take this game seriously. You can't overlook it. You can't think job is done. Absolutely not. You have to go in there with a purpose to win and nothing else.
Absolutely. I watched the match at Milan Club in London on Sunday.
Yeah.
The atmosphere, Roy, I cannot describe it. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. The euphoria. So God knows what it's going to be like on Sunday if we win the title. You know,
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be
it's just, yeah.
and if the opposite happens, it's gonna be awful.
I'll put it this way. I'm not saying that I cannot think about that because I have considered it. You have to consider these things in football. These things are possible.
Absolutely.
It will be totally devastating.
Yeah, you have to be ready for that. You have to be prepared for that
You know what I mean?
because it's not for sure that Milan is going to win. You don't know for sure.
And it's very dangerous to go. You know, I, I'm sure Pioli. I'm confident that he will not change his tactics. But you know, you've seen it yourself, Roy. Better managers than Pioli, they face a game, they overthink things, they change their tactics, and it works against them. You know, they think,
Yeah,
oh, a point is good enough, so they play for a point. They end up losing the game.
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. He could make mistakes, and if that happens, we have to be ready to live with very a stain in our hearts that is going to be
Uh,
there forever.
It'll be there for a lifetime, Roy.
Yeah, it will
You know
never
what I
go
mean?
away.
If Inter take this title, if just imagine you put yourself in the positions revert if the positions were reversed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Every time you saw an Inter shirt, you would just laugh.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You just laugh with contempt.
yeah. Because you'd see that second star, and
Yeah,
you would know that that was the year.
yeah. So
Like honestly, it's so crazy the dichotomy because it's literally either the best thing in the world can happen or literally the worst thing in the world can happen.
absolutely, that's the balance, and I think that's why a lot of Milan supporters do not realize the position that we're in. You
Yeah,
know, we've played 37 games to get to this point. You know what I mean? We've played
yeah,
well enough to be crowned Scudetto champions, but the same thing, Inter have played well enough to be crowned Scudetto champions. And this is,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
on
Absolutely.
Sunday, one is going to be champions and one is not. And
Yeah,
it should not be assumed it's going to be Milan. The game has to, you know, we have to go out there, we have to play for win. And
yeah,
I mean, I think the first goal will be crucial because
yeah.
could you imagine if Sassuolo goes first? Panic may set in.
Yep. Absolutely. All these things are absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely. Um, you know what? It has happened in the past, right? It has
Yeah,
happened to. We
we've
lost
lost
it, right?
titles. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, no. When was it? When did we lose it? In I think we lost it in the last day. I know we lost it close to the last day.
1979 was one, I believe. I know we lost to Napoli on the last day. I think when Napoli won their settled second title with Maradona. But I think it's happened around about three times in our history.
Yeah, and I know we've won it in the last day. The Zaccheroni one. We
Yeah.
won that one in the last day.
So
Juventus has Inter has lost one, the Cinque Maggio. Lazio has won another one again. Inter has lost a bunch of them actually. Also in the recent history. Okay, but looking at just what is right and what is wrong. like Milan deserved to win the Scudetto. Milan should already won the Scudetto if it wasn't for the referees. So the stars, if the stars were fair, they should be aligned for Milan to win it. But if they don't, if Milan doesn't win it, it's not just because Milan botched the last game. It's because the referees did mistakes that were absolutely a tragedy, a travesty. The mistakes they made with Spezia and Udinese. Those two mistakes. If those two mistakes weren't even take away the Spezia one, just take the Udinese one where there's a VAR and you can review that. We already won the Scudetto just with the Udinese game.
I agree, but I don't want to hang my hat on that. You know, unfortunately, and particularly in Italy, these things happen. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
just let us not pretend it only happens to Milan. We are Milan supporters, so we only see it through that filter. It happens to other clubs
oh
throughout the
yeah,
history of Serie A.
oh yeah, absolutely,
You know what I mean, look
100%.
at Juventus when they, sorry, not Juventus, Fiorentina when they fought for the title against Juventus.
Yeah,
That was very contentious. So these things happen.
yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah. Now, as
but
far
it's
as
still within our it's still
go ahead.
within our hands. So that's why I'm not worried about. I'm never really worried about referees. These things. But last season when we had, is it 16 penalties?
Oh yeah, I think it was 20.
Yeah, so 20. That was a record in Serie A. And I said this season we would pay for it. Don't expect to get 20 penalties this season.
Oh, we pay for it. That's for sure.
Yeah, and now we're paying for it. I'm not. It's not because we cheated last year. 17 out of those 20 out of those 20 were stonewall penalties. There was
Yeah,
only about three that were contentious.
yeah, I
But
think that's yeah, I think that's
referees look
correct.
at these things. Oh, we cannot give Milan so many penalties this season. It would seem that we're on their side. They may not say this verbally, but it goes through their minds.
It could be like just natural behavior, just the stars rebalancing things kind of
Yeah,
thing, you know. I see that point. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not worried about the referee in this last game. I mean, to be honest with you, Tix Eyes, I'll be very honest, and I know like people don't like to hear what I'm about to say, but Milan have are in such a good position to win this game. I find it very difficult if we're going to lose it. I find it very difficult because all the factors are on Milan's side. Like the whole team is healthy. So Pioli has the bench that he can use in the long run. And then when it comes to Sassuolo, they really have only the four strikers up front that are top level players. Everybody else from the back is not that great as far as quality. And then plus the bench is not that great. I mean, this is the 10th team of the Serie A. They have conceded more than 60 goals. So if we lose this game, it's because we fucked it up. Not because they deserve to win it, it's because we fucked it up. And if we lose it, we have to smack ourselves in the face because we have all the weapons necessary to win the war. Right now, we have a nuclear bomb. They don't. If we don't use it, and they use their bombs and they kill us, then we lose the war. So that's how I see it right now. That's how I feel. And I think this is how the players should feel. The players should go in this game with the determination to win it.
yeah,
They should.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I really don't see Pioli doing anything different than he's done the previous weeks.
Yeah, I don't
That
see
would
that either.
that would be to me a sign of panic if he does. But
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see him doing that. And if the approach, you know, the build up for the week, some senior players coming in, saying hello to the guys, and just keeping things cool and talking to them and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
then that should
Absolutely.
be enough.
Yeah, I agree.
But
100%.
games are won on paper on the field. They're not won on paper.
Yep, that is very true. Yeah, so no, you're right. We can't act as if it's already home. Absolutely
Yeah.
not. We can't do
That's
that.
why I was really hoping that, even though I'd like to win it on the field, I was really hoping that Inter would drop points last week, so it would be
Yeah, me
over.
too.
Because
Me too.
the euphoria, Roy, that I experienced last week, it's just unbelievable. It's just, Roy, I cannot even describe it. Last week was mad.
Yeah, I can
It
imagine.
was
Yeah,
unbelievable. There must have been close to 500 people in this pub.
yeah. That's amazing.
It was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so wow.
The the fire is alive in the fans again.
Yeah,
It's come back.
well, it reminds me of what it used to be like in the 80s and 90s. You know what I mean? We used to have 50,000 season ticket holders, right?
Yeah,
50,000.
yeah.
I mean, people. I watched a documentary. It was on the BBC in the UK. They did this fantastic documentary about AC Milan at their height under Berlusconi.
Okay.
People used to fly in all over the world, not just ordinary fans, but people, millionaires and stuff like that, just to go and watch Milan play.
Oh yeah.
There was this Milan fan. It was just an ordinary match. It was on a Sunday. It was the day of his mother's funeral,
Oh my God.
and he was at the game. And they interviewed him. Why are you here? He said, "My mother is dead, but Milan is alive." He missed his mother's funeral to go to a game. That's how mad it used to be at Milan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was. The stadiums were packed, packed all the time, even for
All
the
teams, not
small
just
sports.
Milan.
All
You know what I mean?
teams, all
Yeah.
teams. Yeah, even Serie B, even the Serie B teams. Like even like the teams in Serie B, like they're packed, all the stadiums. We were starting to see that happen again, right? Are you noticing that? I'm noticing that it's not as much as it was back then, but it's been really poor in Italy, the stadiums, and
Yeah.
now I'm starting to see packed stadiums again. I
I
like
think
that.
it's going to come back
Yeah, I
because
think so too.
there's a cycle that you can match it with politics and football. When politics is important, when politics takes up a lot of the public attention, football is on the decline. But when politics fall, football takes over.
Ah,
I mean,
interesting.
and they did. I saw a study on this, and yeah, and
That's
you can
interesting.
see all clubs have a lot of supporters who don't go to the games for various reasons. But when it's important, as we've seen with Milan, and I'm sure what will happen with Inter on Sunday at the San Siro, I'm sure it's going to be packed there.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
When it's important, the fans turn up. It just goes to show there are a lot of football fans out there who are waiting to come back to the stadium. Yeah,
Yeah,
they want to
yeah,
they want to go to decent stadiums.
yeah.
That's one thing that is the most important thing that Serie A has to tackle. All clubs need decent stadiums. I mean,
Yeah, and the competition has to be exciting. It has to be
yeah,
exciting. This season, the competition, these last two seasons, really, the ever since Juventus lost its dominion, the
yeah,
competition has become exciting again. And and yeah, watching that stadium in Atalanta against Atalanta, the whole red, the tifo was
yeah.
amazing.
It's just amazing. You mean
Yeah,
I've always said this for eyes to go back on for worldwide eyes to go back on it's Italian football. Milan has to be near the top, at the top or near the top.
yeah,
Milan is not just an institution in Italy; it's an international institution.
yeah, 100%, 100%. And it's the Trinity in Italy: Inter, Milan, Juventus. Those three clubs, all three of them need to be at the top in order for Italian football really to be competitive against English football and Spanish football. But Milan, if Milan is not there, it just doesn't work.
It's
It
not
doesn't
there, no,
work.
it doesn't work.
Yeah, Milan
Yeah.
is the tip of the arrow
Mm.
when it comes to Europe. So if you don't have the tip of the arrow, you ain't killing anybody.
Look, Juventus won 9 consecutive titles. In fact, over that period of time, Serie A lost people watching it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Juventus did not have. I mean, Juventus was being pushed by Napoli. I mean, come on, you know, nobody cares about that.
And Lazio.
Napoli and Lazio
Uh,
and Roma. You know, it's like nobody's gonna care about that. But you know, Milan, Inter, these clubs here can produce special. Like you said, they're international. I mean, Milan is also Inter, but Milan, of course, they're international institutions. When all three of these international institutions are competing against each other, pushing each other, iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely.
So, so I made this prediction. I could be wrong, but next year I think is going to be the beginning of the cycle of Italian football renaissance. Now, I'm not saying Italian teams are going to be winning in Europe. I'm just saying it's going to be the beginning of the renaissance. That's all I'm saying. We'll see. I might be wrong. What do you think?
Um, I dearly hope to see Italian football back in Europe as a force once again. I mean, there was a time when Italian clubs took Europe very, very seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, but that time has fallen away. But I believe Italian football can still be a force in Europe, even at this stage right now, but they
Yeah.
have to want it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's very difficult with these super clubs, particularly the EPL. It's
Yeah.
very difficult. It's very difficult, but they will have their cycle. I mean, look at Man City. Look at all the money they have, but they're still not been able to win the European the Champions League, and the same
Yeah.
for PSG. These, you know, these things are won on the field. You can it's the 11 men against the 11 men, and you can still beat them tactically or
Yep.
with a little bit of good fortune or whatever. You
Absolutely.
may not have to be as good as them, but if you set yourself up right and your approach is right,
I, I'm
it's
gonna
possible.
I'm gonna go as far as saying this. Okay. That if next year Milan were to face Man City, it's not going to be a walkover for Man City. Actually, who knows? Milan can even beat them. So the thing that I think English clubs have that is the benches. They can afford to spend 100 million for Grealish,
Absolutely.
so and put him on the bench. That's something the Italian clubs can't do.
I mean, and now you can change 5 players in a game, which is ridiculous, in my opinion.
You don't like that? I like that rule.
No, no, I
What?
don't like it because um, it only helps the big clubs. It doesn't help the smaller clubs.
Oh, I've never seen it from that perspective.
A smaller club cannot have a great player sitting on the bench in the hope that you can bring him on.
Yeah, I've never looked at it from that perspective. I guess, yeah, from that perspective, it does hurt the smaller clubs. Yeah, it's true.
Uh, yeah, Man City can bring Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling, Foden, all these players off the bench. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like the five rule thing, even though I never really thought about it that way. But I like that you have a lot of tactical solutions that you could adjust.
I don't mind five if a match goes to extra time, but for 90 minutes, I think 3 substitutions is enough.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go back to that. I think
No,
they're
no,
gonna.
they're not going back.
No.
Once these changes are made, they're not going back.
Yeah,
So
they're gonna stay with that, and I wonder if they are going to change football because FIFA's been talking about it, changing the way it's timed. So instead of 45-minute halves, it's going to be 30-minute halves, but every time the ball stops, the clock is going to stop. Because essentially, they have calculated that each game, each half, there's an average of 30 minutes actually being played, and 15 minutes is just inactive football.
well, even less. I think I saw something a couple of years ago. Out of a 90-minute game, one game in particular, I think they only played like 50 minutes of football.
And that actually
Um,
happened, yeah, that happened this season with one of the Milan games, where it
um,
was 45 minutes.
wow.
Literally, like one half of the game was spent wasting time. Yeah, so I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do it. Yeah. So tell me about this club in England. How are you associated to them? How did you
Well,
find out
it's
about them?
just it's been going 10 years now. It's just a group of predominantly Italian guys, and they just meet up to watch the matches together, and that's all it is. And I've been going about because, like I said before, been watching Milan a long time. I just used to watch on my own. I was thinking, never knew any. You'd meet the odd Milan supporter, but see the odd Milan shirt worn around town. And then one day I just thought, oh, let me go on Facebook because I don't use Facebook much. And wondered, and I looked to see if there was a supporters club, and I saw, oh, Milan Club London, and I discovered that there's lots of these groups around the world now. And so I went along one time, and that's it. I've been going ever since.
Are they all with Milan? Do you two like? Do you go with Milan gear and everybody
Yeah,
singing?
I usually go with some sort of something,
Yeah.
mostly stuff associated not so much with the club, with Milan, but with the club because every year we produce our own. They produce their own T-shirts,
Ah,
scarf.
okay, okay, okay. I
You know what
got
I
you,
mean?
got you, got
It's
you, got
it's
you.
it's it's a real feeling of belonging. Honestly, it's amazing. It's mostly predominantly 99% Italian guys,
Oh, really?
but yeah,
So they're Italian immigrants or
second
are
second generation.
second generation?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Do they sing the? Do you guys sing the
Oh,
songs?
last week, Roy. Even though we had the sound on for the commentary, never heard the commentary at all. Never heard the commentary at all.
So
I
so
mean,
you so you guys keep that pub
they
alive
they just
every
keep
two
that going.
Sundays.
They just no every week we watch every week every match there.
Oh, every match,
Yeah.
even the. Oh, of course, yeah. I'm
So
thinking
even
this.
Coppa Italia, every match. You know what I mean? Yeah, the figures of people who attend it can vary widely. For a midweek Coppa Italia match, you might get 20, 30, 20 people at most.
Nice.
For for Inter, two,
Ho-
three, 400.
Wow. And you guys just sit on
Just
how anywhere kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. Well, we used to be a pub in central London in an area called Piccadilly,
Okay.
but we've this season we moved to another place. It's also in central London, but it's called what is called the area is called the City, and it used to be the financial heart of the UK of London.
Okay.
So, but it's a part of town. Even though there's lots of stores there and stuff like that, during non-business hours, there's hardly anybody around.
Ah, okay. I see.
So the pub itself, in the evenings or on the weekends, it's not that populated. So I
Okay.
suppose they welcomed us coming there, you know?
Okay. So they love you guys.
Yeah,
You guys pay the bills pretty much for the
yeah. Well,
for
we
those
help out.
beers.
It's very nice there, you know? Yeah. I'm not
Nice,
really a
nice.
beer, I'm not really a beer person, but you can't help when you're there, you know?
Oh no, no. But if there are 400 people there, I'm sure a lot of beers are being a lot. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
they're spending money. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
sure.
they're spending money.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I've never been to a Milan club. I haven't even checked if there's one here.
I definitely know there's one in Southern California, but where exactly, I can't tell you.
Gotcha. What's going on in the EPL? Who's winning?
Well,
Who's losing?
well, it's like us. It's going to the last game of the season
Oh no shit!
uh,
Really?
between Liverpool and Man City. Man City need to win. They're on top. They're on top, leading at the moment by 2 points, but they need to win. Liverpool are 2 points 2 points behind. Last game, uh, Man City play, sorry, Liverpool are 1 point behind, not two. So it's a must-win match for both of them. Man City are at home to Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard the ex-Liverpool captain, manages Aston Villa, so he's looking to help to do Liverpool a
Oh, wow.
favour.
Nice.
And Liverpool are at home to Wolves. So, but the money is on Man City securing the win against Aston Villa.
Really?
And it's for us. It's a bit of a shame because they kick in the UK time. This matches kick off at 4 o'clock, and then Milan kicks off at 5 o'clock.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
You need
and there's a
to,
sorry.
yeah, you got to have them both on at the same
Yeah,
time.
well, of course, I won't be watching at all. My focus is going to be purely on Milan, but
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen because there's other matters to be discussed. There's the fight for fourth place between Tottenham and Arsenal, local rivals.
I thought Arsenal was out of the top
No,
four.
no, Tottenham have to go away to Norwich, a club that's already relegated, and Arsenal play Everton at home, a club fighting not to be relegated.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's still possible that Spurs, you know, it's still this is a very similar situation to us. Tottenham only need a point against a relegated team to be in the Champions League next year, and Arsenal have to win.
Mm.
And Tottenham do have a history of when they're on the cusp of something, messing things up.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that is true. They do have that history. They don't.
yeah, so,
They seem not to be able to break through that wall of becoming like a Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea. I think
they
Man
haven't.
City is struggling to do that too.
Man City, Tottenham haven't won the title since the 1960s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's insane. So the club, the Milan club, is actually pretty close to me. That's interesting.
Oh, you've seen it.
Yeah, it's not too far from where I live.
Oh,
Interesting.
good time to check it out.
Oh, they got a lot of people. Let's see. Well, this looks like Ari. What? Oh. Yeah, man. It's going to be a great weekend, man. I'm not celebrating it, but I'm not scared. Like I'm going in this confident.
Well, can you believe how many people tried to get to tickets to see this game?
Yeah, I think it was 100,000.
100,000 people in the queue for a stadium that holds 21,000.
Yeah, I know that's insane.
It's just
It
really
would have been.
no, seriously, this game should be moved to another location.
Yeah, I
Even
probably should.
even Sassuolo they would benefit financially. They could sell this match out 3-4 times.
Yeah, true. They should take it to whatever stadiums are available.
Let's have a look.
The Olimpico? No, no, no.
No,
At the
no, there's
Roma.
too far south, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, you can only really play it there. The Sassuolo Stadium. Which player from Sassuolo would you take?
Um, I'm not 100% keen on him, but I think he's still an upgrade to what we have at the moment, Berardi.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm not keen on Berardi because he's still at Sassuolo. Why is he still there if he's as good as people say? I find that very odd.
I think I hate this about this generation of Italian players. That they're content with staying at this small clubs. Berardi should have moved to a bigger club. He had the opportunities in his career. He should have pushed. But instead, I don't know. But I think now is the time. So we'll see what happens. He's definitely being linked to Milan, but we'll see. There's a lot of interesting players being linked to Milan.
Mm. So yeah, but yeah, I'll take him. I'm not too sure about Skamaka.
Scamacca. I would take him before anybody in Sassuolo. Yeah. 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 I mean, the guy scores like he scored 16 goals, 15 assists. Those are good numbers. Those are good numbers. So, what do you take out of this season, Tick Size?
It's just been you know, 6 or 7 pillars have emerged. Players that we can build around. We have we're ahead of schedule in the plan, no doubt about that. Um, and we've seen players like Tonali and what's his name on the left.
Hernandez.
No, I struck the black struck the Portuguese guy. Sorry, I've been
Leao. Leao.
Leao. Yeah, sorry. God, how could I forget that? Just take magnificent leaps forward. You know what I mean? They look like Milan players.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
that is and also Pioli has made a tremendous leap forward.
weren't you Pioli out at one time?
I'm going to be honest with you at one time because my criticism of Pioli, I think he's the right manager at the right time for this team, for a group of young players. But I did question whether he had that winning spirit within him. And until Sunday comes, that's still to be proven. But I cannot be more delighted with the job he's done with this team. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
I
This
agree.
is his 14th team as a manager, from Serie C, Serie B, blah, blah, blah. And he's still developing as a manager. You don't often see that, a manager after so many clubs still developing, still evolving. And
Yeah,
I want us to go into the Champions League with him next year.
I
You know what I
agree.
mean? He
I
he
think he's
des-
perfect.
he deserves next season to go into the Champions League and to really show what he can do as a manager with this team.
I wonder if he's going to be like after he's done with Milan, he's going to be like one of those managers that the big clubs are going to be after. I wonder if his experience is going to cement him as that kind of manager. A big co-
Uh, I hope so. I'm, I'm still, uh, to me, he looks like a very Italian manager.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not too sure if he would flourish outside of Italy. I mean,
I don't know about that either, to be honest.
and
I'm very skeptic about that.
and I could see him, eventually taking the national team coach one day.
Oh yeah, I think he'd be good actually for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we have some questions. If Mourinho wins conference championship, does that add to his legacy or prove that he's fin? Yeah, of course that adds to his legacy, right?
Of course, I mean, Mourinho is not the manager he once was, but personally speaking, I think he's chosen badly in the clubs he's gone to manage. I mean, Mourinho always excels at a club with lesser expectations than to being right at the top of the table.
Mm.
The Manchester Uniteds, the Real Madrids,
Oh,
these were not his clubs.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He likes a club that's scrappy, that wants to prove themselves, that are on the up, and he was badly done by Tottenham because you take them to the final and then you get sacked the week before the final. That's disgusting.
Final of what?
Yeah, the not the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the
Oh, oh wow.
against Manchester City. He got to the final of that last season and he was sacked again a week in the build-up. So a week before, and they put in some unproven coach, and they got rightly spanked by Man City. It could have been 10-0.
Oh my God. Well, then they deserve not to be that kind of team. If they make those kind of decisions.
Yeah,
Um.
Roma's a good fit for him. If he
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get if he can get some money, I mean, I would expect.
There was an article today saying that Newcastle is offering him a big contract, so maybe he might leave Roma.
Uh, I think Newcastle would be a good job for him, but it would be very unfair under the existing manager who's done. Because when the existing manager Eddie Howe went there, they were in the relegation zone, and of course he was given money to spend. But now, if they win their last game at the end of the season, they could finish in the top 10.
Okay, who's the coach?
Eddie Howe,
Eddie
he's a,
Howe. Okay.
he's a very good coach, English coach. He's managed small clubs, but he's good. And one day, and now he's got an opportunity to show how good he is. But as
Oh,
you know, with these clubs with big owners and lots of money, they always want big managers, experienced managers.
okay. Eddie Howe. All right.
Yeah,
All right. Save says, how good do you think Skamaka is or going to be? I think Skamaka is going to be uh, an excellent center forward. What about you?
Hmm, it appears that way. I'm not gonna lie. His numbers are very good. We cannot deny that his numbers are very good. But I'm not. I don't know. I'm not 100%
I
convinced.
think for some reason it's always hard to tell with Italian players. I don't know why, but it's always hard to tell because like his numbers are slightly better than Jonathan David, right? But Jonathan David is like you feel like he's a superstar,
Yeah, which is too much
but
hype.
which is maybe too much hype, right?
Yeah.
And then you have Darwin Nunes, who's 22, who has some crazy numbers. Oh my god. Yeah, I think Skamaka is going to be a very important player in the future. We'll see. We'll see.
I think Skamaka should stay with.
That's Sassuolo?
Yeah,
No,
for one more for one
I
more
don't think so.
season.
I think he should get out of
It,
there right away.
it could come too soon for him.
These players, maybe you know what? I have PTS or what's it? PTS, post-traumatic stress syndrome, of these Italian players that get trapped in these clubs that whose ambition is 10th spot, 11th spot. Is like how the fuck how the fuck are we going to win World Cups with players that play at Sassuolo? You know, I think that's something that maybe is more personal to me. But I don't. I mean, I see why you would say that. I mean, it is. It's not a bad decision for him to get one more year experience there. Jonathan
He's
David
only
is.
he's only had 36 appearances for Sassuolo. He's only played 38 times for them.
Oh, really? That's not much. That's
Yeah,
one
it's not a
season.
lot.
Yeah, just one season.
Yeah, he's played including Serie B and all the other places he's been. He's played a total of 122 games and 34 goals.
Okay.
But his
Okay.
record at Sassuolo is good. 38 goals, 38 games, 16 goals.
Well, that's decent for his age. Yeah.
So, and he's only 23, so I think he would benefit. And if he gets snapped up, he'd have to Inter, Juventus, or us.
Yeah.
He'd have to hit the ground running.
Oh yeah. It's no joke.
You know what I mean? And if it doesn't work out, then it's the bench.
Yep.
Where he could be playing, even if he doesn't play well, he'd still be playing every week at Sassuolo.
Right. Oh no, absolutely. If he joins one of the big boys, he has to sweat. He can't be messing around thinking about tattoos. He needs to play football. Be serious. 100%. Paul KB asks if you're going to be at the Milan club.
I'll be at the Milan club.
Jonathan David is Canadian. American and Canadian players tend to get a lot of hype because of the type of media in North America. It's similar to how English players and how they get overhyped. Okay, okay. I see. I see. Scamacca needs European experience to make the next level. Yep. Does us being Scudetto winners give us massive advantage in the transfer window rather than finishing second? I think so, yes, because you're a winning team. So your aura, the club aura, is different. As far as monetary gains, it's not that much. The difference between first and second place is not that much. Let me check.
I think we have a project, regardless if we finish first or second. We have a project, and I don't think we're going to stray far from that project. It all depends on who the new owners are. Until that's rectified, and
I
we
agree
hear
with that.
what they have to say. But you know, personally speaking, I rather not hear anything about new ownership until after Sunday, and then we can sort all that out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's okay. So let me see what the prize money is. Prize money for 21-22. Inter Milan won its first Serie A title. Oh, this was last year. They made 23 million, while second team pocketed 19 million. I don't know if it was Italians.
That's what you get for finishing in the bottom of the EPL.
Yeah. Yep. If you want to put it in perspective, yes.
That's the gap we have to bridge.
That's a big gap. There you go. There you go. Safe. I don't know if it's. I think. I don't know if this is last. This could be last season. Maybe this season is different. But he says Serie A prize money 22-21. So it's not that much difference if you go first and second. But yeah, I agree with Tixeyes. Like Milan has a very specific project in mind, and they'll continue regardless. But of course, if you win, you have a little bit more clout. Attracting big name players has a lot to do with the club directors and coaches as well. Yeah, true, very true. Players who grew up seeing Juventus and Inter will still prefer them even we get the Scudetto this season. So we'll get players who actually want to be part of the project. Yeah, Milan also has a lot of fans, yeah? Footballers that are Milan fans. Okay, here we go. Unpopular opinion, but Leao is our future legendary striker, in my opinion. His growth proved it. I think potentially he could become a striker. Right now he's still a winger, but potentially he could become a striker, like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, we saw the same thing at this stage of their careers. They're not that dissimilar. Cristiano Ronaldo was a little bit further ahead, but I remember when he was at Manchester United, he was very unpopular with other players because he was greedy and he wouldn't cross the ball, and there was a lot of criticism for him
Yeah.
at times.
But do you know a statistical fact? At this age, Leao has more goals in a top five European league than any other Portuguese player,
Wow,
including Cristiano Ronaldo.
that's incredible. I mean, that's why to me, I know everything has to be sorted out. After Sunday, we will start addressing matters, but I don't care if we have to break our wage structure. It is imperative we keep Liao. We can't, we've lost. I'm sad to lose Kessie. I'm not sad to lose Romagnoli. I don't care about Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Now that we have Magic Mike, I don't care about number 99. Okay,
No
we
more
cannot allow.
99s. No?
We cannot allow Leao to leave on a free or to be transferred at this stage of his career. So
Yeah.
let's sit down. What do you want? And give him a. I mean, I know it's going to upset other players because other players have signed for less because they were told that this was the structure. But Leao, we made an exception for Zlatan. We have to make an exception for Leao.
Yeah, 100%. And let me see if that article is still up here on Gazzetta dello Sport about Leao. There it is. Leao, the gold of Milan. He is worth. Oh fuck. Leao, gold of Milan. He is worth 100 million. PSG knocking on the door, but the devil wants to keep him.
Yeah.
Gazzetta dello Sport.
PSG are going to lose Mbappe. That
Yeah,
is a major, major hole they have to fill.
and that's why they want Leao.
I mean, and I'm not saying Leao cannot go to PSG, but not at this stage of his career.
No, it'd be awful for him. PSG would be such a bad destination for him.
So, I know it may upset some other players. I know, we Calabria, we got him to sign on for virtually nothing. Saelemaekers and Fial could have asked for more, but he seems wedded to us. Yeah, I would like him to sign for 4.5 million, but you can't see that happening, Roy, can you?
Leao?
Yeah,
I think it's going to be 5.
yeah, it has to be 5.5. I wouldn't go any higher than that,
Yeah, I think it's going to be somewhere around there.
but we have to secure him because he can. I mean, if money is what he wants, then he can earn a lot more money elsewhere. I'd like to think he's enjoying himself at Milan. He's seen himself go from being booed to being lauded. He's on the edge of winning something for the first time in his career. And just look at how we're feeling as fans right now. Can you imagine how they're feeling as players? It's
Oh
just
yeah, speaking of which, did you see? Oh my god, dude! I literally cried, dude. I literally started bawling. Did you see Kalulu's Instagram post?
no, I
Oh my,
didn't see
oh,
that.
oh my god, oh my god! I
I
literally
must check,
started bawling
I
like
must
like a
check it out.
baby.
What about it was?
Um, Let me see if I can share it.
We can just. This is the most remarkable thing about this team. What the management has done. The players they have identified is just unreal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. All right. So he said, I'll have to translate this. He said, so this was for the Atalanta game, right? He says, last game in front of our fans. Thank you for your sostegno. Thank you for your what's the word? Fuck. Oh shit. What's the word? Thank you for your support throughout the season. We will give everything for you. So he's talking about the last game. That's an incredible message. I love it. Support. Yeah. Last game in front of our fans. Thank you for your support throughout the season. We will give everything for you.
We'll give everything. Yeah, so I've got the translation now. Yeah, this guy. who, who finds somebody who's never played a professional game before? Not
Right.
if he had played like one season, you could understand it. But he's never played. He didn't even play for what team he came from.
Lille or Leo? No, Leon.
Leon. Yeah. Oh, what a discovery!
Yeah.
And I'm not being critical of Pioli, but I still think his emergence was a happy accident because we had no one else to play. If Kier and Romagnoli were fit, there would be no Tomori Kalulu partnership.
Ah, yeah, true. True. If Kiari was still fit, probably not, yeah.
Mm.
Saif Najar says Botman or I don't know who. What's IDC? I don't.
I don't care.
Oh, or I don't care who. Kalulu cannot be benched in the future. It's not. It's not. Even if Botman comes, it doesn't mean Kalulu's going to be benched.
You know, this is an unpopular opinion that I have. Botman, which I'm going to be honest, I personally hope that Manchester United hijack the deal and we get the player from Torino. I like that guy.
Oh,
What's his name? I'm old, right? I forget names quickly.
Bremer.
Bremer. That guy, I can see him in red and black. I love that guy. I know we're going to have to pay a transfer fee for him. I know it's going to be expensive, but I rather him than Botman.
I,
But
I wonder if we're going to try and use Pobega as
yes, that's what I think.
exchange.
I The way they're talking, even if Pobega comes next year, comes back, I don't see him playing much, which is going to be very frustrating for the player. I mean, he seems settled somewhat at Torino, so I think he knows this. So hopefully we can make a deal. But regardless, we're going to have a close to 6'5" centre back, and I can see one of them teaming up with Tomori. And so what I think was going to happen, not necessarily at the start of the season, but as the season develops, I can see Kudulu taking over for Calabria at right back.
Maybe that can happen. It's definitely a solution that he has. He's going to have a lot of solutions for that left back position, right back position.
Yeah,
Yeah, Torino has the fifth best defense in Serie A. If Torino would have scored only 20 goals more, they would be in the Europa League right now. It's pretty crazy. They'd be fifth. But because they only scored, Torino has conceded 38 goals this season, and they have scored 40 something. So if they would have scored somewhere around 60 goals, 70 goals, and 38 goals conceded, they could maybe even be fighting for top four spot.
that's crazy. But
And
yeah, they have a very good defense.
yep. Yeah,
You know,
I agree with that. Bremer's would be my first choice too. Bremer will cost like 40 to 50 million. I don't know. I've not seen those numbers. I wouldn't pay him that. No way. Would you?
I think
Well,
I think they want around about 40 million for him,
you think so?
which I don't which I don't see us paying. But as I said, with uh, why can't we get these Juventus deals that they get? You know,
You think 40 million would be a good price for him?
to be honest with you, I do. It's high
Really?
in Italian standards, but I just think he's that good. I really do. I don't see that with right. To be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of Lille. I've hardly watched them. It's only highlights. Um, I'm not too sure about Botman.
I honestly never seen him play, so I can't. I have no idea how he plays. I literally have no idea how he plays.
I mean, everybody seems to be say, "Oh, well, he's a left-footed defender,"
Yeah.
but it's not hurting us at the moment having two right-footed centre backs, is it?
Second?
It's not hurting us at the moment having two right-footed centre backs.
Yeah. No, I think it's for the tactical, for just having that tactical solution of having the left. You can open up the field, but yeah, you don't have to have them both left-footed. Yeah.
And CF's is saying that Botman is quite slow. But then again, you're going to be hard pushed to find two defenders as fast as Kalulu and Tomori. I mean, their speed covers any mistakes that they make. Now, I'm not saying they don't make mistakes, they do. But it's their speed, their recovery is incredible.
We have to be sure about this because I hear this a lot that Botman is slow and all this stuff. But I want to see whether this is true or not. Because tall players look slow, but they're covering a lot of ground because those legs are moving differently. I don't know. I have to see him to have an opinion. Like even like his highlights, which we can watch because those highlights are fine. It's like I can't understand whether or not he's a good player or not. I just can't tell.
The
I
Google
mean,
career certificate.
I've seen about 5, 6 games of Midfield this season, and to be honest with you, I cannot pretend that I watched him that closely, and I'm not going to pretend to be a scout. I only go by what I see and what I like, and I mean, there was nothing that saw in those games that made me think, yeah, I want that player. But when I see Bremer play, I want him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, he's not that. Oh no, he's tall. He's tall.
He's
Six
yeah, he's
foot.
tall, over 6'5".
Pass success rate is pretty high. I like that. No, copyright is fine. Not with Brazil Scout. Brazil Scout doesn't report. Brazil actually subscribe to Brazil Scout because he's one of the few that don't give you problems. He's definitely worth the subscription. All right. I mean, you tell me, does he look slow to you? I mean, let's see. Where is he? I can't tell who he is. Oh, he's the one doing the passes. Okay. So, okay, that's him right there. He's big.
Big guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe when you're that big, sometimes it takes you time to get up to top speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, is that him? Oh wow, he looks like a basketball player. Like he's got the height of a basketball player. He's big too, like not just height, but muscular.
But Roy, he's small for a basketball player. He's 6'5", and he's small for a basketball player.
Yeah, he's still small for a basketball player, right? He'd be like a small basketball player. Yeah, it's very hard to tell when it comes to defenders in highlights.
But he does get the odd goal, which is something we don't get out of our central defenders because of their height.
True,
Set
true.
set plays is a real weakness for us.
That is true.
We have no height.
That is very true. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to make out of him. I've watched these highlights a million times. I still don't know.
Uh, uh, Highlight is not a way of judging a player. You have to see a game.
I have difficulty judging defenders through highlights. Like at least like attackers, you can see what their skills are, but defenders is like it's a little bit different because you can show me all the times that he has had good tackles, but I want to know what he looks like when he doesn't have good tackles.
Uh, what type of mistakes he makes.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I want to check Tomori's highlights because I want to see if I only check Tomori highlights, what I would see and compare them to Botman. So watching these highlights, what do you make out of him? If you were to give an opinion.
I mean, he looks good, but that's the purpose of highlights, right? You don't put highlights out to make someone look, you know. So it's not what I mean. I'm not a scout. I'm a football fan.
Yeah.
So if the club have identified him, I must think they see something in him that I don't, and that's fine. I've got no problem with that because I've made many mistakes about players before, and I have not paid any punishment because I'm not a scout. It's not my responsibility. But
Well,
I mean,
Laird is.
I really like Bremer. I really, really like that guy.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like we've seen Bremer, we've seen the full games of Bremer. We've seen him stop Vlahovic. We've seen him stop our attackers. So we've seen a full game. Like here, I'm seeing honestly what I'm seeing is a guy that obviously he doesn't look slow. So I don't agree that he looks slow. I just don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I have no clue.
And a lot of people are saying that this season has been very poor for him by
Yeah,
his standards.
I've been hearing that too. Yeah,
But it's been a poor season for Lille overall.
yeah.
So,
I mean, he's international. Oh, this is against us.
and he played well against us. And Dutch players on the whole have done well at Milan.
Yeah, true.
So, I
Very
mean, I
true.
hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very wrong. I hope, next year I'm rushing out to get a t-shirt.
He does look like he's a fighter. Yeah, he likes to fight. He does have that fighting spirit. Well, we'll see. We
He
will
looks a
see.
physical specimen.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's his biggest. He reminds me of the Liverpool defenders as far as size. They got those big defenders, Konate and Van Dyke. So he's like in that kind of category. Well, all right. Let's see what Tomori looks like in highlight because we know what Tomori looks like during a game, but what does his highlight reel look like? Is it? I'm curious. I'm just curious. Rudiger. 87% pass rate. Nice. 45 million. There you go. Boom. Franco Baresi, Fikayo Tomori. All right, let's see.
I love the way the guy's integrated himself into Italian life and into the squad. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you know how many English players that would have come from Italy and stayed as long as he has and not learned one word of the language?
Yeah, yeah. It's true. He's definitely faster. He's definitely faster. What? Okay, aside from like you can tell, like obviously he's just faster in his movements. But aside from that, like what do the highlights of defenders? What else can you really see from a?
The way they anticipate the game, the way they read the game. I mean, the positions they take up when they tackle, in terms of what parts of it, because some players are so slow, they defend very deep. Tomori is always on the front foot. He's always near the halfway line where he's engaging strikers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Tomori is literally one of those defenders that does not allow you to breathe. He's right on you
Yeah.
right away.
but he does it in a way, but that's a very hustling style, but not in a dirty way. You know,
Right, in a
he's
correct
not.
way.
His first instinct is not to foul you.
Yeah, yeah,
He
he
wants
does it.
he wants to win the ball.
Yep, he does it perfectly. I mean, look at him and Kalulu, both of them not getting a yellow card in these last three
That
games.
was to me was that was the masterclass of these last 5 games.
Yeah,
Not getting a yellow. Oh my
yep,
god!
yep,
I mean,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see how Botman integrates in the team if Botman comes. I guess only time will tell.
Well,
Tomori speaks
I
good
mean,
Italian. Well, to be honest with you, to be fair, this new generation of English players are integrated. Like Smallings, like fell in love with Rome, and Rome fell in love with Smallings.
yeah.
Abraham is he loves life at Rome, and the fans love him. Tomori, same thing with Milan. It's we've never really seen some like three English players that are doing so well in Italy before, right? I don't think we
Well,
have.
we had it in the heyday in the late 80s, early 90s. Paul Gascoigne, do you remember him?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh right, Paul
David
Gascoigne
Platt.
with Lazio. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, but we will see more of it now.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. And it's a good destination for young English players to learn. You know, to go and have an experience. But the thing is, like, I wonder if Tomori is going to, eventually get the home blues. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
He will want to go back
Tomori's a
home.
Nigerian. His parents are Nigerian. I think he was born. Was he born in Canada or Nigeria?
I don't know. I have no idea.
But I think he was born in Nigeria, grew up in Canada, and then came to London. Nigerians, they have no problems in moving around and going places and adapting. That's
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't.
That
To be
is
honest
true.
with you, I don't expect Tomori to stay at Milan for the whole of his career. But I do not see him. I do not see him leaving in the next 3 to 4 years, or maybe beyond. Particularly if we're successful. You know what I mean? He's uh, he's getting what he couldn't get at Chelsea, playing time. Now Chelsea would love to have him back with
Oh,
because they're losing Rudiger, they're losing Christensen.
they've been, yeah, and the reports came out that they're looking to get him.
I mean,
They're looking to splash some serious cash for Tomori.
yeah. We've got players all over the pitch, Roy, that we're going to face serious challenges for.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
the truth of the matter is, Italian football cannot compete at this moment in time. Cannot compete with these other, with EPL.
Yeah, I know.
So if they're willing to splash the cash, there will come a time that we will receive an offer we cannot refuse. I mean, I don't see it happening, but if someone said, "Here's 100 million for tomorrow," I would take it. I don't want to see the player go, but you cannot say no to that type of money for that type of
Wait a
position.
minute. Wait a minute. Is that why we're getting Botman? Oh. Is that why we're getting Botman?
You think
Is
that?
is Tomori being sold this summer? Is Chelsea gonna splash 100 million on Tomori?
I don't
Is
see that happening, Roy.
why not?
Well,
Those
look, they have a new owner, so they want to. But
I've seen crazier things happen in England.
yeah, well, nobody pays 100 million for a defender.
In England, they would,
Well, Arsenal paid 50 million for Ben White.
and Manchester United paid almost 100
Oh
million for
yeah,
Maguire.
that's right. They paid. Oh my God, yeah, they paid what, nearly 80 million for Maguire.
Yeah.
So yeah, you cannot rule it out.
Oh wow. Wow, 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 wow. No, he's born in Canada, according to Place of birth, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. You know what pisses me off of Wikipedia? They're using a picture of Tomori with a fucking Chelsea shirt.
Maybe they know something we don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. There you go. 1997, 19th of December, Calgary, Alberta. 6 feet, 6 feet, .1. Chelsea, Brighton, Hull City, Derby County, AC Milan. England under 20. He won a World Cup in the under 20s. He won the World Cup, right? I
With
think
Canada.
so. No, with England.
With England, okay.
Yeah, let me see.
It's unbelievable he hasn't broken into. He's not made his international debut yet. It's been.
Okay, so he won the UEFA Youth League, so the Champions League. The UEFA Champions League, right? He's won it twice with Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's won FIFA Under 21 World Cup, 2017. Toulon Tournament Under 21. That's a nice one. Italy won that one once. European Under 19 Team of the Tournament. Chelsea Academy Player of the Year. Wow, 2016. Yeah, I remember seeing an interview that he already has a lot of trophies under him in his youth career. Chelsea getting rid of their best products.
That was a crazy move on their behalf.
Yeah.
That's why when we were in for Ziyech, they were very wary of us because, they know that they realized they made a big mistake with him. And then
Yeah, for sure.
Marina, what's her name? I can't remember, but she wasn't going to fall for Managerial's terms the second time.
And I think they also made a mistake with Abraham. Or not?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yes. It's proven to be a mistake.
Yeah, I think so because they could have used him this year, right?
I mean, I don't really feel that sorry for him, but for that striker to play so badly for being an intern to play so badly.
The snake.
Yeah.
What did you think of the rumors that put him close to Milan?
I just don't see him as his style of. Well, put it this way. I don't care any player's past affiliations. If he can do something for us, I've got no problem with it. If he rocked up at Milan, I would have no problem. I mean, I don't see him as a Pioli player. But then again, if he can adjust and score goals, we'll be happy. We won't care about past affiliations if he wins with us, right?
Yeah. Once you start bagging those balls in the net, nobody cares anymore. No, honestly, I like Lukaku as a player. I think he's a great player. I'm surprised that he's having such a tough time at Chelsea.
Yeah. Well, I think his heart was never in it. He wanted to stay at Inter. Inter was his club.
Yeah, he had found the perfect space there.
He had the perfect partner for him in Lautaro. I mean, I don't like to talk. There's something about that guy that really winds me up, but as a footballer, you cannot deny his quality.
Oh, Lautaro's great.
Yeah. It's the way he plays with a scowl on his face or something. Just really. Or maybe it's the colours that he wears. Really, I'll put it this way: if he played for another club, I really would be able to admire him as a player more. But because he plays for that team,
the club that we shall not name.
Yeah, I can't do it.
The Serpents. I mean, how perfect is it that their mascot is a snake? It's it's just perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
Lukaku perhaps had unfinished business in Chelsea. They paying him a lot of money, That's
but he was at Chelsea. He didn't even score one goal when he was at Chelsea before. He had a miserable time.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay.
He really had a miserable time at Chelsea, and to me, you know, Inter pushed him out the door for one reason only, for money, because to service their debts, and they'll be pushing Lautaro out the door come
Yeah,
the
they
summer,
might. They might.
because I
They
heard they
might.
need to raise at least 100 million just to service their debts.
Oh shit.
They're in deep shit.
Oh, that
They got approached.
sucks.
They got approached by some people to be bought, and they said 1 million. Ask 1 million, and people just laughed at them so far, because it's not a nice project. The project is good. The debts are crippling.
Yeah. Yep. I did. It was on the newspapers a few weeks ago that they might fold on their debts, and the same thing will happen to them that happened to us. They'll
Mm,
be they'll be taken over by vulture funds.
yeah, they are a very good project on paper, just like we are,
Yeah.
but they have to get on top of their debts. And thank good, when Berlusconi sold us to that Chinese man, it's
Yan
one
Dongli.
that was a dereliction of duty by Berlusconi, because he just didn't care at all. He just wanted the money. He probably had done his research and he knew this guy was a complete and utter fraud.
You think so?
Listen, he must have contacts and stuff like that. He must have known, but he just wanted the money. All right? Okay. One day, Elliot woke up. Oh, we own AC Milan. Now, they could have acted like a vulture fund.
Who?
They,
Elliot.
yeah,
Elliot is a vulture fund.
yeah, they could have acted like one when it came to us.
Oh.
They said, sell that player, sell that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. But Elliot is yeah. We got lucky with Elliot. We really got
Yeah.
lucky with Elliot.
They have been so responsible with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
And
what do you think about this? Did you read this? Are you ready for this? Look at this. Elliot are listening to the offers that have arrived, but it must be stressed that they have not been looking for buyers.
because I don't think for them because the goal, as they stated, was to lead Milan back to winning the Champions League. So if Milan wins the Champions League and builds up a very good squad and stuff like that, they can get a lot more money, a lot more for their money.
They
You're
could,
talking,
yeah,
now you're talking 1.5 billion.
yeah. And if they build the stadium, then we're talking about 2 billion,
Yeah.
2 point something billion. So they
They,
could,
they they know we have not reached our ceiling in terms of what we can be on financially.
yeah,
So I mean, and I think this is why they're taking such a long time with these offers, because they care about us and they don't want us to be put back in the position where they found us.
yeah, yeah. No. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens these few weeks. We'll see what happens. Pilegati was saying that something might happen next week.
Yeah, I'm sure once the season's over, things will move very quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, but if Elliot turned around and says we're not selling, I'll be delighted, because we already got our targets under Elliot for the
you,
season.
you, you, you know, if you say that, if with when certain people are here, it's you're pretty much starting a 2 hour, very, you know, very strong debate. You know what I'm saying?
I can only go by what I feel. What I mean, I don't have access to the financial accounts of who wants to buy us. I don't. We have not heard what their intentions are for the club. I can only go by what I see, what I hear, and right now I'm quite happy. But listen, let's win the title on Sunday, and everything else will take care of itself.
Agreed.
Yeah, winning
Did
the
you see?
title.
Did you
Sorry.
see this? Did you see what fucking Carnevali said? Carnevali, the president of Sassuolo, said, "I would take Leao from Milan, but I don't think he would be a first team player in my
Yeah, I
team."
saw that. I saw that. I'm sure it's just tongue in cheek, you know.
Yeah, and Leao liked the
Yeah,
the tweet or whatever. He liked it.
yeah. That's good. That's good for us.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He'd be ready to replay to show how good he is on Sunday.
yeah,
I mean, I'm really surprised that teams are not doubling up on him already. You know?
yeah. That's true. Yeah. Well, let's see if they can. I don't think because I was watching Sassuolo earlier to see what we were expecting, and Sassuolo on that side has Berardi. And I was noticing that Berardi does not really help the midfield that much. He doesn't defend deep.
Okay.
And that space there, because they play the exact same formation, they play a 4-2 diamond, essentially. And just on the side of those double pivots, there's a lot of space. I noticed there's a lot of space. So I think Lao's going to have a lot of space to operate. I think.
Do you think Leao's deceptively fast?
Oh yeah, he's super fast.
He's faster than he looks, doesn't he? Because he doesn't look like he's moving that fast. He glides.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. His uh his his explosion in small spaces and then his propulsion is incredible, out of this world. He takes on players really easily.
Right, I just realised it must be like 3:30 where you are now.
3:37.
I don't want to keep you up to. You know what I mean? It's nearly midday where I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna close soon. I'm gonna
Oh,
close
okay.
soon. Leao's afterburners are freaky. Sassuolo digging their own grave. Losing Conte was probably the biggest loss for Inter over, and yeah, some players will die for certain managers. Lukaku was kinda tied to Conte, true. Daniele Doveri.
Okay.
Okay, he's not bad, Doveri, right?
Um, I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't pay too much attention to referees. You know what I mean? They are pretty much the same for me. There are
I
one or
think.
two. There are one or two exceptions, and then other than that,
Let me just check who this guy is.
the last referee you had, what's his name? I'll get his name in a second. I think he's one of the better ones. What's his name?
Uh oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. My thing is going to crash in a second, but I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah, who was the last one?
I'm just gonna get it up now. Oh, great. It's not here. Hold on. Give us a second.
How's the chat?
Sassuolo are digging their own grave. Leao's
No, no,
after
no,
burn.
no. I'm talking about the WhatsApp chat.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I look at it, there's like 300 messages. I can't I can't go through it all to find out where we are. So I often clear the messages and start again. Like
Are they fighting all the time?
no,
Most.
actually, there's nothing there at the moment.
Ah, okay, good.
I mean, and your peds with Roy is becoming a lot more active.
But yeah, right. That's the secret chat.
Yeah,
That's the secret
uh,
chat.
yeah. We shall see.
Let's see. This Davide Doveri guys. Davide Doveri. What's the referee's name?
What for last week?
Oh, Daniele Doveri.
Oh,
Oh, this guy. Ugh. I don't like this guy.
Orsato was the referee for the last game. I like him.
Orsata's good, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's one of the. He's maybe
He's
the
one,
best one in Italy.
yeah. He usually does the big games in Europe too.
He makes errors, but he seems to be balanced. You know, if he makes an error for one side, it's the same for the other. He doesn't seem to have too much.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to handle the games.
Yeah.
This guy here, Doveri, I'm not a fan.
Do you have his record for this season?
Wow. He's on the referees are on transfer market.
Really?
Yeah. Serie A, 59 yellow cards. No red cards. He's not given any red cards the whole season in all competitions. Like no direct red cards.
Yeah. Well, the last time we had him was away to Calgary. Sorry, away to Verona.
Yeah. We won. And he was Torino 0-0. Juventus.
He seems to hand out round about 3 to 4 yellow cards a game.
A game, yeah.
Oh.
He hasn't done many games with us this year.
No, he's
3.
only done 2, I can see.
And Juventus.
Oh.
Oh no, and Inter. He's done 4.
Okay. Perhaps I don't have the full list.
He was the one in the. Okay, well, whatever. Doesn't matter. None of it matters. All right, Tix Eyes.
Okay.
Thank you for joining me today, my man.
No, it's okay. It's always a pleasure to talk about Milan.
Absolutely.
And plus, to be honest with you, I can't think of anything else until Sunday. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so,
This league it's a slow week.
yeah.
Time is moving very slowly.
Well, today's Thursday, so we have today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And then that's it.
Are there any games coming up Saturday?
There are. I don't know. Are there games on Saturday? I think they are but I know for some reason not all the Serie A is playing at the same time on Sunday.
Okay, so
The games are.
So Friday there's Torino Roma. Saturday Fiorentina Juventus, gonna be a good game. Lazio Verona, Atalanta Empoli. So we're playing at the same time. Oh wow. So basically what's happening is that on Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time you have a game for the Scudetto, and both games happening at the same time, and at 12 p.m. Pacific time the teams that are playing for relegation are fighting.
Which is, I'm not really happy that I think all teams should kick off at the same time, but I can understand it that they've given times for the championship, and then then people can focus on the relegation as well. So it's not bad.
Yeah. By the way, Natasha is not a lady. It's I can't remember his name. I think he uses his, I don't know, maybe that's his girlfriend or his, I don't know. But it's I can't remember his name. But I can't remember his name. But it's not he's not a lady.
So
Huh?
9 a.m. your time is the match.
Yeah, we're gonna do a watch along.
Okay.
Ari's gonna be there this time finally.
Wow. Why has he not been? I think you touched on this, but I didn't hear it. Why has he not been around, or can you say?
He says he's busy.
He's busy. Okay, fair enough.
I wish he was around more,
Okay.
but he said
Good.
he's busy a lot.
He popped up on the channel with a video the other day. So
Yeah, yeah. I wish you would do that all the time.
okay. Well, it's. I wish we were playing today, Roy, but we're not. So
Yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you,
yeah,
everybody, for joining us today. Really
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Oh, by the way, the videos, for some reason, when they are uploading, they're not playing correctly. Whatever. It is what it is. All right. I'm going to close. Thank you, Texas.
Okay.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.
All right.
Later.